Hello, everyone. It is I, Rob, and Brett with me, as always, for the blocks have spoken. And today, we get to once again talk about another amazing Minecraft Survivor season. This one being Minecraft Survivor Madagascar, hosted by Oxy. So, before we reveal the player we're talking to and we start talking about spoilers, if you have not watched Minecraft Survivor Madagascar, hosted by Oxy, I highly recommend watching it. It is such an entertaining season, and we are about to spoil the shit out of it. So this is your last chance before we start talking in 3, 2, 1. You have been warned. We are joined here with George the Jedi, who I believe got 4th place on the season, and if
Hello there.
memory serves correctly, had a very good chance of winning had he made it a little further.
I appreciate the compliments. Yes, I did get fourth place. Later at the end, after the season was done, the winner told me, and I quote, "If I was in the finale against you, I would have lost." The host disagreed with him, but the winner saying that I think is really cool. So I appreciated him for saying that.
Yeah. So I'm super excited to get to talk about this because this is a season that I saw a while ago at your request specifically.
um,
Um,
yeah, you were asking me about this because how we first met was through a show that's not aired yet that I will not spoil or mention, but like you and me became really close and you were like, okay, I want to know more about this stuff. So I sent you basically the first season that got me back because I started doing Minecraft game shows around 2013. And if you count shows outside of Minecraft, I've been doing virtual game shows since 2009. But this show was the first one to get me back in the recorded scene because there was like a 2-year period where I was not getting cast in anything. And Oxy really like gave me a chance to like show what I can do. So I owe that man a lot. Like he was really cool to give me a shot to show my chops.
Yeah, what year did this like film? Not because I
I
saw it got uploaded. I heard people being like it takes a while for the seasons to come out or
Yeah,
whatever. So when was it recorded?
Hello?
Hi, Rob.
around 2022-ish.
Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
I didn't realize if I hit escape, my mic stopped working.
Okay, that makes. I thought my whole game just like blew up. Okay, that
No. That's me.
2022.
That was me being old man types on computer.
It's all good. Out of curiosity though, before we get into this season though, I did want to talk a little bit about your history with these games, George, because I think out of anyone I've ever met in the community, you're the person I know who's done these kinds of things the longest.
Oh dear.
You just said what you played your first ones in 2009.
So, if we're not counting Minecraft, I used to be part of a community that was called Total Drama Island Camps, where it's basically YouTube orgs through YouTube's ancient messaging system that they used to have. And challenges would either be text
Holy.
based or you had to upload a video to like impress the host or whatever. And then you would vote people out. I almost always played as either Owen or DJ because those were my two favorite players in the show.
That's incredible because I mean 2009. That's like just as Total Drama was airing, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
So people just figured out like, hey, we want to play our own version of it because like there really wasn't much for us. There weren't a lot of kid reality shows to like apply for back then, unless you count Endurance, but that ended like before most kids could have actually auditioned for it. So Total Drama was just like this gateway to like getting into the reality shows, getting into Survivor and all that. And then when people started doing these message form stuff, it was absolutely fun. And then my first ever Minecraft show was a show called The Mole, which was inspired by the real show. It was filmed in 2013 and aired in 2014. Sadly, my very first ever show, I was the first eliminated because I panicked on my quiz. And I would have made it further if I hadn't panicked because I switched all my answers last second.
Oh no.
But I got invited back to their 6th season. Ended up, funnily enough, also getting 4th place in that.
Oh, okay. I feel like that's not the most uncommon thing where you find these people who have been in the community a while and they're like, yeah, my first ever show, I was the first boot. I feel like that's
Yeah,
not that rare.
it is not uncommon. There are a lot of people who it takes a while to build up, and like I feel like a lot of people like if it's their first time, they feel disencouraged after their first attempt. It's like no, keep going because like literally second time I played, it was an unrecorded Big Brother, and I won. And then I ended up joining the Skype community, and that was a wild time. Doing game shows in one singular Skype call is very interesting.
I can imagine.
Holy. Yeah, that sounds wild.
Yeah, it was a different time, but that's kind of not a lot of the Skype players are left now. So it's kind of like a badge of honor that I was able to go so long and continue to play and hold a certain level of play against a lot of great players. Like the modern era of players are insanely tough.
Yeah. It's funny because I remember the first org I ever did was around 10 years ago. I don't know exactly what year it was. It was either like within the first few months of Discord or it was on Skype. I don't remember actually.
Okay.
But it was a train wreck. The entire thing got canceled after one elimination because
no.
multiple people were cheating. In the first round of gameplay, I found a hidden immunity idol, and then the production announced it to everyone.
Oh no.
It was so needless to say, that got canceled, and that turned me away from them for like 9 years. Until I ended up doing a game where I met you, so.
I'm so glad you joined that because, like, I won't spoil much, but you have a great mind for the game, and I can't wait to watch when your season finally airs because I'm sure you are able to pick really good players because your mind is like, I kid you not, you are a really good tactician.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Phenomenal content too. All right, don't get it twisted. Rob is fantastic.
I ain't
Well, he
tooting
hangs out
my
with
own
you, and you
horn,
got some
but,
really good
yeah.
shows too. So I think I think iron sharpens iron between you guys.
That's what makes us an unstoppable duo in this stage, But yeah, let's get into Madagascar now. So
All right.
you had said earlier that this was the first recorded you had done in like 2 years.
Roughly, like there were some that I tried to get on and they got canceled, but like there was just a drought where like the community was kind of picking more their friends. Like there was some stuff I was on that's now been deleted around that time period too, within that quote unquote 2 years, but they were not really anything serious. So this is like the first serious production that I got invited back to or invited on after that little bit of drought. The process was pretty easy. Like I was shocked at like how casual like they made the production made you feel and like tried to get out of you. Like they didn't feel like they were looking down on you. They were just trying to elevate you so that way if you are the right pick that you can get on.
Well, that's an interesting take on it.
Well, like because like for a while, like a lot of the audition stuff was like you just put in a form and then they either pick you or they don't. Like they actually interviewed you, they talked to you, they did a trial run with challenges to like gauge your skill. And like for me, that was like, oh wow, this is really cool. I hope I get on. And I knew one member of production, and his name is Shadow, and he was also known as Derpy Yoda, and he actually was like vouching for me, like saying, "This guy, you need to let him on." I used to play unrecordeds with him during that 2 year period, and it's like, you need to have this guy on. So when Oxy heard him and gave me the shot, it was just I was over the moon. I was like, I don't care if I'm first boot. I'm gonna leave it all out there.
All right, that's really cool. One of the things that struck me as interesting with Madagascar is I like to think of different Minecraft seasons as having like a couple different ways of starting, where
Yeah.
you either just start off divided into tribes and then just follow the tribes to camp, or there's some sort of an opening challenge, or there's some sort of an opening like advantage hunt or something like that. This one went a more interesting route. 15 of you dropped on the beach and told, all right, In 15 minutes, you're voting someone out. Good luck.
Yeah. That twist had... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I can't imagine how stressful that was.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as I hear that, I'm like, either they're crazy and they're going to screw someone over right away, or there's going to be a, like, exile island. They're guaranteed safe for a round. But, like, I did not want to be that first person regardless, because, so right away I knew I had to put on the charm and, like, social with people. And, like, one of the crazy things is I only knew one person on this cast, and I didn't even know it was this person until, like, a round or two later. So
really? Who was it that you knew?
Nikos. He used to go by the name Zalek back in the day. And me and him used to be rivals in a fun way. Like, we'd always, like, we'd work with each other, and eventually one of us would turn on each other. So it was absolutely funny when he put down a sign, "Hey George, it's me, Zalek." I was like, oh crap. And that was like, I think that was just before the swap happened, but it was very interesting having to break up into groups. So if I remember, there were like different Discord rooms with like number sizes, and like right away the number 6 room filled up, so I had to go to number 5, and that's where me, Nikos, and the others were when the name Hades got dropped. And it shows, like, obviously how it happened. Like, Nikos is the one is like, I don't like how we look at him, we should vote him.
He's looking at me funny. He's looking at me funny.
But the thing that's kind of lost in translation is, like, I was the one that was, like, hardcore saying, like, yeah, we should do that. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah, let's do that. And then everyone's like, yeah. So,
See,
like, I had my hand on the bill.
I was going to say, Nikos may have been the first one to say the name, but you were the one to take it and run with it.
Oh, yeah, because I was like, all right, that's it, we got a name. And then if you notice, I think later I'm talking to, like, Bushy, and I'm, like, saying, like, yeah, they want to vote him out because he's a threat. And it's like, no, it's because the guy was looking at him funny.
That's
and then
funny, you know?
It never shows on screen, but later Hades said he was looking at Nikos to try and assure him, like, hey, you and me, we got each other.
Oh my god.
So Nikos totally misread what he was doing.
Oh boy. And it ends up being really funny because I made it clear to everyone we're gonna spoil the shit out of this, so like we're free to talk about whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Not only does Hades end up getting the majority of votes here.
Oh yeah.
But Hades ends up winning the whole thing anyway.
Oh yeah, that's like the perfect edit. That's like the perfect story. My gameplay with him, and it can be more revealed later. As soon as he came back, I didn't see him as a threat to me because it's like I undid a lot of the stuff he did. So that's why I was like comfortable with being around. But then near the end, I'm kind of realizing, oh crap, maybe at Final 6 I should have switched the vote to him instead of Spooks, but not Spooks, Smooth. But Hades is just insanely good. So the fact that he was able to get under people's radars and then like climb his way to the top and have that epic story, and Oxy making that epic edit at the end. Holy cow, dude.
Yeah, that is like a storyteller's like biggest dream, is just having like a storyline like that just drop into your lap, like just because it's like, oh, I mean, you don't even have to go crazy with the editing and everything. Like, it just tells itself. Like, it's just a phenomenal story.
Funny you would say storytellers.
Yeah, true.
Because that's how, so at one point, me, Pokey, and Colin were the only ones left in the room, and we just started talking, and we realized, like, holy crap, we all got similar interests, and we're having fun. My goal was, like, to have control on either tribe in some way, because, like, when I usually build alliances, I want cool people and then like people from different groups, so that way it's not a pagonging. So having this twist really helped my play, and then meeting both of them and then being able to come up with the name Storytellers was just so fun. And I haven't gotten to talk to them much in a while. I have talked to Pokey more than Colin a few times, but that was such a cool moment, and it was nice to be working with them at that time.
Yeah, I mean, it's really nice that we're able to get like these early allies before, even though you don't know if they're going to end up on your tribe or not, there's a real scenario where you end up being in, I believe it's Colin's position, where it's like the other two are together and you're just like, well, I'm an alliance of 3. Doesn't do me any good right now.
Well, yeah, but like still, we could even like we had the moments later on, which we'll probably talk about, is like when Colin and Pokey were able to reconnect for a little bit and then find something.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact too about the Exile. My alliance went there the most. we were on Exile more than any other alliance group or players.
Well,
and I only learned that today. I didn't even realize that until years later. Like, holy crap, we went to Exile a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, so the vote ends up going to Hades. Any idea why? This was what confuses me, is you have Dom who just threw a random vote on Bushy. And then Hades and Spooks vote Saints. I'm curious if you know any idea why those votes happened.
So with Saints, me, Hades, and Saints were in a room. And I didn't want Hades to know the votes were on anyone, but I also didn't want Hades to vote me. So I said to both of them, hey, Saints is the one's name out there right now. And Saints is all panicking. And this is like the last season of Oxys, because I've been on his production afterwards, where you were allowed to Minecraft message to people. So I messaged to Saint right away, it's Hades. Don't worry, I'm throwing a red herring. I want to work with you. I just don't want him to realize he's up for noms. Because, like, normally, if you do not hear a name at all, that means you're up. Right. That means you're highly considered. So if he hears a name, then it's going to not make him do something crazy. With Dominexus voting, Dominex's entire thing was, like, he did not want to coordinate things. He wanted to basically make it random or by chance. I believe that's because of, like, he wanted to play an honorable thing because of his faith. I've gotten to meet Dominexus and talk with him. He's such a sweetheart and such a good guy. Like, if you get the chance to talk to him, he is a really cool dude. But yeah, that's why he voted randomly for the Bushy, if I recall.
So he threw his vote just hoping it would disappear. And then Hades votes Saints because you bet him a cock and bull story to distract him. And then presumably Hades got Spooks to vote with.
Yes, because I think Spooks was like, I don't prescribe to this, but it doesn't matter anyway.
So either way, ends up with a 12-2-1 vote. Hades is out of the game. Wait, no, he isn't.
Nope, he's sent straight to exile, and I was kind of like, I knew it. I'm relieved. I wasn't gonna probably work with him anyway if he came to our tribe, but like it was like, okay, cool. At least he's not the first boot in kind of like he didn't even really get to play the game way. Yeah. So I was happy to see him come back.
Would have been a very depressing exit to, get all excited for something, wake up in the morning and then 15 minutes in you were shot out the airlock. So I was very happy when it was revealed, the whole exile thing.
Yeah, and getting an idol right away too really could have been extremely cool for him if he was able to use it, but he was in a situation where he didn't need to. He integrated very well when he came back after this episode, because I believe he returns properly in episode 2.
Yeah.
It does help that while he does return properly in episode 2, he doesn't go to tribal for like 4 more episodes.
Oh, yeah.
So that gives him plenty of time to really integrate himself back in.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get to the challenges.
Yeah, I'm excited about this, because I'm curious what happened between Hades going to exile and this first challenge, because you guys are still not in tribes.
So, we basically, after that, we get revealed to what our tribes are, and then we're sent back to camp. We get to meet and talk and build a little bit. They put most of our, bonding into the second episode, because our team ends up winning the first challenge. But, basically, we kind of, quick strategize, because it's the one where we have to play tag on, the very thin beam of glass. And we're like, okay, who do we think our better players are, who are average, who are worse, and we'll try and divide it evenly so we have the best chance of winning. Obviously, Red is a beast at challenges, so we tried to anchor on him as much as we could.
Mhm.
I'm somewhat confident in my abilities, but I'm not the best challenge player. I am average at Minecraft at best. So I tried to see who
Oops.
I tried to put myself in an okay spot so I would not get picked on. Because if I made a mistake, I would be very easily the first boot. And luckily, my challenge loss for that first round did not mean the tribe lost. So I was very fortunate that I was able to survive that round.
Yeah,
So
I
is that
mean,
part of why you were the first one going for your tribe? Was you were
Yeah,
like, well, if I lose, it's not the challenge is going to come down to
yeah,
mhm,
I did not want to put myself in the hot seat. Like, first, yeah, that could seem as a bold statement, but I'm not the anchor. I'm not the one who's trying to
me. Mhm.
clutch up. If I
yeah,
win, that's great. If I lose, then it's nothing that's going to be fully remembered. And if it is, I can try and pass the blame onto someone else because I did have Pokey with me on my tribe, so I can try and I had a feeling like Pokey would do a lot of groundwork that I could work with, and he can network with other people and help me be secure and safe.
yeah. And I mean, nobody wants to be that person that flops the first challenge because, oh, well, whether it's the right move or not, a lot of the time in like games like this, and especially like Survivor, the person who flops the challenge ends up being a very early target. And that's never fun.
Yeah.
So I feel the same way. I've always been like, if I've ever played like a Survivor or something, I'm like, I do not want to be out in the forefront right now. Like I like very much not put myself in scenarios where I can like fail just because I'm like, I don't want the eyes
Mhm.
on me. So that was a very very good strategy there because everybody's looking for a reason to vote you out when you
Mhm.
first start the game, and the challenges is usually a big part of that at the start.
Oh yeah.
It's a funny situation for me because on the one hand, I 100% agree with you. You want as little eyes on you as possible. It's funny for a player like me because my best strengths in the challenges are like the puzzles,
Yeah.
which
Mhm.
are traditionally the clutch spots.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah.
So it's like, well, do I put myself in the clutch spot where I'm probably going to do the best? Or do I try to hide my way through the parkour earlier, even though I suck at parkour? It's like, me failing at the parkour is more likely to get me noticed, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of, at least for me, with a lot of these tribe challenges, I end up in some sort of a clutch position because I do the puzzle or whatever. But with a challenge like this, I think I would have done something very similar to what you did, George. Maybe
Mhm.
not first, but maybe second or so.
Yeah, it kind of just it kind of worked out too. Like no one else was truly stepping up for it. I think because I think a lot of people were afraid. Because like
So
and
you
I
were
think
like,
that
fuck
shows
it,
up
I'll come.
later in the tribe dynamic. But it was just one of those things where, like, it worked out perfectly for me. I think if I had done later, it would have definitely screwed me.
But,
So I'm super glad my tribe won that challenge.
I was going to say, well, you lose your round, your tribe overall wins. So, congratulations, you're not the first boot.
Let's
Unfortunately,
go.
Dominexus is.
Yeah.
Was that
Uh,
a surprise to you, or?
so we hadn't really gotten to fully know them. Like I kind of talked to some of them. I think Dominexus and Spooks, oddly enough, were the only two I did not get to talk to during the
Oh.
whole group thing, or if I did, they didn't really say much. So seeing that result later that both of them were kind of on the block, and then it was Dominexus explaining the plan and trying to save Spooks was ending up being his downfall is shocking to watch now. But in the heat of the moment, seeing the person show up, or sorry, the person not being there, I was like, okay. And that's no offense to Dominexus, it's just I didn't know them at the time.
Yeah, of course, of course. So, while they're busy voting Dom out, what's going on with your tribe during this? Are you
So
just
basically,
bonding?
pretty much, and that's what kind of happens in episode 2 is they will then they showed what we were doing,
Mhm.
and that was like us hanging out. I was trying to build a stage where we could do performances and like goofs and gaffs and all that, and try and do some like social bonding because that's where I'm good at. It was like building connections with people. And then later, uh, we were doing idol hunting because Red found something, and then Pokepat was doing all this triangulation work and keeping me updated on everything. I like literally found the perfect partner right at the start. And then eventually we all calmed down and then we just start fishing, which was a really cool moment. And like everyone was kind of getting to know each other. At one point, we were talking about who our favorite Survivor players are, and I bring up that Keith Nail is my favorite. And then, funnily enough, when I watch it live, someone types in the comment "R.I.P. Keith," and I had no idea he had died at that point.
No.
So that was like my way of learning that, and I was so heartbroken because, like, I'm not like a crazy celebrity person. There's very few celebrities I want to meet. He was one of them, and it's a shame that we lost him the way he did. I wish he had won Survivor, gotten to play one more time, but he's he's a person I strive to be like in real life.
Keith was always one of those kinds of players to me where I'm like, are you a good Survivor player? No. Are you an amazing person to watch? Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Did really good on his second chances season.
He did good on both seasons. Like, both seasons, admittedly, he made it way further than I ever would have given him credit for. But it just shows how good of a social game he had. Yeah, if he makes it to the end of second chances, there's a good chance he could have won.
Yeah, even the first run he probably could have, because like against like Missy, I don't think Missy's gonna win that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where he got cut. He was almost, this is a weird comparison to make, and it's not a 1-1, but it's almost like a Sari position, but it's not because he has won individual immunities. Like,
yeah, I think he's like in the top 20 players of all time that won challenges. I think so.
No way, he can't.
I think so.
Really?
I think he is. Last time I checked, it might have bumped down a bit, but he's in the top. He's in out of like the hundreds and hundreds of players. He's still one of the top.
That's
he's obviously
crazy.
Not first.
Well, obviously not first, but no, that's crazy though. Still,
I'll always remember him riding around on that golf cart. Like one of the best Survivor episodes. Yep.
This past last month, I was in Southeast Asia. Part of that was in Cambodia, and I got to be on the back of tuk-tuks, and I kept
That's so
cool. Yeah, it was so cool. Very, very awesome. But every time I was on one, I kept thinking back to Keith. So, but yeah, it was really fun getting to see you guys kind of bond with the fishing. I did notice that. I was like, oh, that's amazing. But
that was like, we wanted that to last so long, and then you know what happens.
Well, before we get to that, there's one thing I wanted to bring up, because, like I said, I was just kind of quickly skimming through episodes earlier. It's been a while since I saw this. Was it shown that PokePat was filling you in while they were searching?
So, not really, because he was the messaging thing. So a lot of the game was through the Minecraft messages. Like, a lot was talking, but I would say about 20% was like private messaging people.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he banned it in future seasons, because like there's some context lost, but he was able to show so much still with it. And it kind of gets implied later, and in later portions of the game he shows me stuff and like helps me find stuff. So I don't think it needed to be shown for that.
Okay. But still, it just shows that, like, right from the beginning, you and PokePat were locked in.
Oh, yeah. I could not have asked for a better alliance member. I think I'm also going to add Jerry into that, too. Like, I think PokePat and Jerry have been, like, out of all the alliance members I've had that have either made it to air or not, I think those are, like, the two I will remember till my deathbed.
Yeah. I remember it was funny, too, because I knew of Jerry when I saw the season. So I was seeing you two work together. I was like, oh, yeah, the two people I know.
It's funny how things work out like that.
But still, that is only 3 out of a tribe of 7.
Yeah.
And the last time I did math,
that's
not a majority.
No.
Which makes what happens next just baffling.
So, we go to the next challenge.
Yeah, let's get to this second challenge.
So, if you remember, it's potion dodgeball.
Oh yeah.
I love this as an idea for a challenge, by the way. I might
It is
message
so
Oxy and be like,
fun.
hey, can I steal this?
No, yeah, it's then
Go
like
ahead.
out of most of them, that was like, oh, dude, if I was playing in this, I would love to play because it was so cool. I mean, dodgeball is just like such a fun little concept in itself. But like doing it with potions is so cool, and it like leads to the moment where you can like be somebody clutching up for your tribe. I don't know. It's just very such a cool challenge. One of my favorites of the whole season.
I wish I could play that one again. That was so fun. Even though we lost. Spoiler.
I mean, you may have lost, but like you said, just because you lose doesn't make it a bad challenge. It just
No.
means it's a skill issue. Like,
So I wish they showed the hearts for that challenge. Because there were so many times like I was getting people down to 1 heart and then I could not finish them off, nor could my
Oh
tribe.
man.
And then just smooth pops
Oh
off
yeah.
like crazy. He's like in
Yeah.
the Matrix. He's
Mhm.
dodging everything. He's sniping people. He's like, who's the sniper in Saving Private Ryan? He's like that guy. He's just sniping all of us.
Yeah, but he is the potion dodgeball champion. Like bro was
Oh yeah.
locked in this challenge.
If they ever do this challenge again, they need to have him there, either as playing or commentating or whatever. They need to have that challenge for him to do it again and keep that crown.
Yeah. Well, either way, it's unfortunate that you end up losing. And I remember, I think when I saw this, I was like, all right, who are they going to pull in as the fourth? Because earlier you had mentioned, oh, we need a fourth. And I was a little confused as to how this happened. But essentially, the other tribe has to choose someone to go to exile, and they choose Caleb.
Yeah.
And from what I gathered, especially in episode 3, the other tribe was under the impression that by sending Caleb to exile, Caleb was not going to tribal.
So yes, the idea because like of what happened with Hades, but that did eventually happen later with the next round. So when they picked him, they had the initial thought, and then Oxy confirmed it, and then he was like, "Oh crap! Wait, actually, it's not this one; it's next one. Sorry." So, but like, regardless, that was not an Oxy like thing. Like that's not a negative blight. It's just one of those things where it's like the scripts got flipped by accident when he read
Yeah.
them. But like that round was supposed to be the one where someone was supposed to get voted out. And then the
So-
next one they would be safe. And I think it was supposed to flip back and forth a bit. I'm not sure.
So either way, Caleb is sent to exile, and Caleb is going to join back in at
Tribal.
tribal.
So he gets no
And-
camp time.
And I watch you. And the only way I could describe this is, Survivor Winners at War.
Mm-hmm.
And Survivor Redemption Island.
Mm-hmm.
And this Boston Rob strategy of nobody goes anywhere. That's basically what you do. You're like,
Yeah.
no one is going anywhere. We're all just going to vote Caleb. Which, in hindsight, now that I think about it, is even funnier because you're all just messaging each other.
Yes. But like my whole thing was like, because like they want it for the cameras too. And I think like you can't necessarily fully like I don't remember if you weren't allowed to fully strategize, but you could give each other information. But like my idea was like, why break up into groups and hurt what we have when we can be unified right now? Because like I had a fear, because like how I did in that very first challenge, that I could be a name that's potentially thrown out there. And I'll let this be known, I wanted Navin gone first because I saw Navin as a chaotic flipper type player, and I was
Really?
afraid to work with them in merge, but I knew I couldn't do that because Navin was really good in the challenges. So with Caleb, people were starting to get annoyed at Caleb, sadly, because he was dominating conversations and he was on exile. So it was like, this is the only way I can save my skin, because if something were to go wrong, one name were to be slipped about me in some way, I could be screwed. I think I've said this before, like I regret these 2 votes for our tribe, every other vote after that I have not regretted. Those are the two where it's like, maybe I wish I could redo that.
So, if that's the case, if you could have redone it, then what do you wish you had done different?
Um, win the challenges.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone wishes. Dude, I have the best Minecraft survivor strategy. Ready? So the tribal phase, we're just gonna win every immunity challenge.
Yeah,
And
that's
then the
it.
individual phase,
Perfect.
I'm just gonna
dude.
win every immunity
Revolutionary.
challenge. Like, no
Might be onto
shit,
something.
Sherlock. But like, if you had to vote someone out at that final 7, if you're saying I kind of regret voting out Caleb, then who do you wish you had voted instead?
Navin.
But you just said you also regret voting Navin next.
I do because of the way it went down. Because like when we get to that episode, I can kind of explain why I regretted that one a bit. But
so it's
I'm
less
happy with
about who you voted for and more how you went about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, because like Caleb is a very sweet kid. Like when you get to know him, and like he was talking about like how his parents are gonna watch this with him and all that, and it was like, but it was also like one of those things where it was like, at the same time he was causing some strife with the tribe too. So it's like sweet kid, chaotic player, sweet kid, chaotic player. What do we choose with this? And in that moment it was like, okay, he's a chaotic player, not to the level of how I perceive Navin to be. And the tribe is sort of getting this vibe of like, we don't know if we want to work with him, so let's just stay here, hang out and have a good time and vibe, and then vote him out.
Yeah, well, with Caleb at exile, unbeknownst to all of you, Caleb gets this groundbreaking advantage. A steal a vote that doesn't end up doing anything. But you know, I think it did come. If I remember correctly, weren't there a couple votes kind of thrown this round just in case Caleb did have an idol?
George is the one that does it.
Speak of the devil.
yeah, and I voted for Navin because, like, what if he decided, you know what? Yeah, I want to. Because we did have an idol, right? And he decided to vote Nikos. I wanted to keep Nikos around, so to switch between Navin and Nikos.
I just love the idea that, at least from my perspective, you're over here like, guys, we all just vote Caleb. Guys, we all just vote Caleb. Guys, we all just vote Caleb. I'm voting Navin.
Because it's the perfect cover-up. I don't know. Like, spoiler for the next episode, I don't know how Navin clocked it was me. Because, like, no one else was thinking it was me. It's amazing how Navin figured out it was me. But, like, it was the perfect cover. Because I put the target on Caleb. So it's like, he figure it out. But, yeah, it was just one of those things where it's like, anyone but me. And you know what? I'm going to try and protect Nikos if I can. Because Navin and Nikos came with the idea to do this fake fight in front of Caleb. So Caleb would have the idea, okay, I can either vote Navin or Caleb, or Navin and Nikos, because they're fighting. There was like some sort of blow up at camp. Great, I have a way to be safe. I don't even have to use my steal a vote or block extra vote or whatever it was.
Oh, I see.
So it's just like, I had to cover.
Did you tell PokePat and Jerry that you were gonna vote Navin, or
no?
Oh wow, okay.
No. There's certain times you keep certain information because, like, if they figure I'm being a loose cannon, then they might not trust me. And at that point, Jerry wasn't like my super close number yet. Like we were just kind of like, yeah, we're cool with each other. We're both the older members of our tribe. I think he was 25 and I was 27 at the time. I'm 30 now as of recording.
Yeah, and I'm 28. What of it?
You're so young.
I'm older now than you were playing this.
You're so young. Enjoy your youth.
That's what I say to my students.
You got your whole life ahead of you.
But yeah, so you really wanted Navin to go, but you were just too afraid, I guess, to stir the boat.
So if I were to throw out the name right away, Navin, then I think what I did would not have worked. Because then it's like I'm really being a schemer, where Caleb, people were kind of okay with it because, one, he was gone, and two, he was being a young kid, and people were kind of like, you're good, but like you're playing a little chaotic, my friend.
I more mean, I guess, like, did you consider heavily, like, going to Jerry and going to Pokemon and being like, what if we switch the vote off of Caleb? If the three of us somehow get Caleb to vote Navin.
I did not let that thought in my head because with the messaging, in theory, people could have been spreading it around, but PokePat would have, and Jerry would have, and Nikos would have informed me, hey, they're not liking this. They're going to try and vote you. So I did not want to try and spread around the idea, hey, let's switch to Navin. Because if I did that, then they might see, wait, what is this guy doing? He's crazy. And it kind of worked out because Poke was later like saying like how they really liked Navin and wanted to bring Navin to my group. So it's a good thing I did not say that.
All right, so you don't rock the boat, and it ends up working out. All right, fair enough. Anything else about the Caleb vote out?
Other than afterwards, we all felt heartbreak, and like we were like, man, that was a little too brutal. Let's hope the next vote out's not like that, because like Navin, I think, was like a young teenager, so I think he got a little too emotionally invested and started like getting a little teary. So I was like, oh, dude, we're sorry. That's why, like, out of all the votes, that one I regret. Like, maybe I should have gone for Navin and just like taken the bullet and maybe gotten voted out first, but I can't unring a bell. Yeah. And I hope Caleb continues to be cast and stuff because I think he's a great person and a great character, and I think he's going to mature and get better and better with time. So be on the lookout for that kid. I think he's going to be a multi-champion in someone's community. I can guarantee it.
I mean, Caleb was what, 14 when this was airing, or when this was filmed?
14 or 15, like that, I think.
So he's probably like what, 18 or 19 now?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think he could be a serious threat in this community if he keeps going at it.
That could very well be the case, yeah.
And that's all I got to say for the this round of votes. I think we can move on to the next episode.
Alrighty then.
Episode 3. Everyone feels bad for murdering Caleb. That's how it starts. Everybody's just very sad.
Yeah, dude. I think I almost, if I remember, they cut my confessional because I think I actually was starting to cry a little bit, and like I not like cry, but like I think I shed like one tear and was like, I think I need a minute, guys.
Yeah. Vibes were definitely down.
Yeah. So we were like, we need to get revenge. We need to win. We need to do something. And then, yeah.
Yeah, y'all don't win, unfortunately.
No.
What was the challenge again? I'd have to.
This is like a parkour and then a
rotation
puzzle.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember that one.
That one, it was close, but like we just could not get that last combination. And I think we were just trying to guess it, and then it's just the other team just beat us by like a couple seconds. I think if we did a few more clicks, I think we had it, if I remember.
No, that actually seems like a tricky puzzle. I don't actually know how I would tackle that, because I can do slide puzzles, but it's not a slide puzzle.
It's rotating, it was a lot of command work. So if I remember, Killer Memester, if you've ever heard of him in the community, he's one of the like top redstone coders in the Minecraft game show space, and he helped Oxy a lot. So that was one of his babies, and it was an intense challenge.
I was gonna say that I would love to see like the inner workings of it, because having hosted a season and having, I'm not gonna go into it too much, but having challenges that do require command blocks, that do require redstone, that is not easy.
Oh no, I couldn't do it.
I'm lucky that I have people on production who are knowledgeable in command blocks and redstone, because I certainly am not.
Yeah,
there's a reason why.
Language to me. Yeah, I have no clue either.
There's a reason why I'm the guy who invented ladder endurance, because I can't do redstone.
Yeah. Which I don't, like I said, I haven't rewatched this lately. Ladder endurance doesn't come up in this season, does it?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
But it is worth saying that
piston endurance did, but not ladder endurance.
Yeah, it's worth saying though that you came up with that challenge, which is fucking crazy.
So
I've seen that I feel like in half the Minecraft games I've done, I've seen that. And every single time I think of you now.
So me and this guy named Dark Shadow Claw, we're gonna host a version of Endurance, like the TV show, in Minecraft. It ended up falling through, and that was one of the challenges we made. He decided before like the filming was gonna start to show it off to people, and then everyone ran with it. So I was a little mad at him, like, why are you showing off our stuff before we film? And he's like, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. It didn't matter anyway because it was already out there. And we're like, it's cool, dude. Just let's be more careful. And then the day of filming, we had people pulled out last second, and we had to cancel it and give up on it. I eventually got to host Endurance with another person, and funnily enough, Dark Claw got to play in it. And as a joke, he made a ladder skin for ladder Endurance. So he was literally just a ladder with no
It was just
with
the
no
ladder. Oh
yes.
my god.
And funnily
awesome.
enough, he won the ladder Endurance challenge.
Hey.
But back to this season, yeah, we lose pretty much, and we were like, "Are you kidding? Not again! Not again!"
I will say though, at least for you, you seem to be in a hella good spot because at one point, yeah, it looked like Nico, Snavin, and Red were gonna work together, and they were looking at you as their fourth.
Yeah, I set myself up in like a very good center spot because I didn't think I was a shield until like after the fact, but like I was like, I'm bonding with people, I'm being fun, people are being receptive to me. So I don't think anyone has a reason to hate me because I'm not doing too wild of stuff other than pitching a name. And on that round, I was doing much damage control. I was like, who do you want to do? Who do you want to do? Because I didn't want to lead this one. Though I very much wanted Navin gone. I tried to lean that way, but like if you would prefer to vote either Red or Nikos, I'm fine with it. Oh, we are skipping one thing, I just realized.
Yeah.
All your
Exile.
buddies. Your buddies leave you. You're your storyteller gang. Everybody.
Dude, I was so
Poke gets picked, then Colin goes, and you
I
get
was
left out.
so over the moon. I was like, yes, we can make sure this works. They can communicate who their allies are, and then we can make a super alliance. We get to merge. It's going to be so perfect. No one's going to flip or make a dumb choice. It's just going to be great.
I remember going into the challenge though, being like, okay, so it looks like either it's going to be a 3 versus 3 leaving this challenge, or George will go with Nico, Snav, and Red, and it'll be 4 on 2. And then Pokepat goes to exile, and I'm like, well, on the one hand, I know George and Pokepat were close. On the other hand, I don't see how George and Jerry are going to survive this. And then the other 3 just implode.
Well, because I think they weren't necessarily as close. And, like, if you look right away, Jerry explains it perfectly. Like, Navin was being cagey with people. Like, Navin was just kind of, like, not telling people what they want. And then when he heard their name was out there, this was cut. Me and Navin actually had, like, a heart-to-heart talk just before the vote out. And we both were, like, relating because we both have, like, bits of OCD problems and all that and other things. So it was like, crap, I'm gonna have to vote this guy out who I've been wanting out the entire time. Crap. But like
you gotta not let emotions get in the way of these games, my friend.
Well, one of the things is like, and I hate a lot of players for this, they do not consider the human element at all of people. And I really try to. Like, I do play gameplay wise, but I don't try and be like an over the top monster. And the few times I do, it's because it's like a wild all-star season and they need a certain character for it. Like if you watch Cavs season 10, I decide to play like a villain because I normally don't really play like a villain. So I intentionally say things out loud and do things because like it's a character. And most people understood that. And like I talked to people later and we were like super cool, but this isn't about Cavs season, it's about Oxys. But for me, like if you're not connecting with people heart to heart, then you're not really building a serious bond or a true thing. That's why I made friends with people. And like I can be allies with you one game and one game not, and we still have like a good friendship, a good heart to heart, because like we're being real with each other. At least I'm trying to be real. I disagree with you on the emotional part, but I can also understand where you're coming from on that.
I'm more me. I'm not saying to not let emotions affect your gameplay. What I'm saying is you can't let emotions dictate your gameplay.
And that's why I still voted him.
Right, case in point here, you still voted Navin. But like, if you end up being like, oh my goodness, I can't vote this person because keep in mind, I'm also saying this because I was just in an org where I got out because I made an emotional decision. So like, I'm definitely pot calling the kettle black here. I can acknowledge that. But
I wish that conversation.
It's a tricky thing, you know.
It is indeed. I wish that conversation though with Navin was added because it would have added an interesting thread, I feel, but I understand like you can't add everything in and not everything I could do or someone else does gets guaranteed in. But I think that would have been a nice touch personally, but that's not a discredit. Like Oxy made an amazing season editing. So the fact that I still got cool moments and to have one moment cut off, who cares?
So and then, meanwhile, Navin's somehow targeting Nikos suddenly. How did that come about? Like, why is Nikos the other vote?
I think because Nikos is the type of player to, like, try and be assassin-like. Not necessarily hiding, but, like, sniping people. And, like, he's doing it. And to Navin, it's like, this person is trying too much to play a middle game and like get people out. So I could see Navin's thought process. Mm-hmm. For me, and funnily enough, because this episode the vote goes my way, Navin admitted to me later when I told them why I voted them out. He's like, holy crap, George, you clocked me. I was gonna flip and do a bunch of crazy stuff in merge.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So I was like, holy crap, I got a right read.
And it's funny because we'll get into it, but the very next episode, you kind of throw Nikos under the bus hard.
Oh.
It ends up not mattering, but you do that.
Yes, there's a whole strategy to that, but
yeah, we'll get to that in a sec.
Okay.
But anything else about Navin?
Navin was a really good player, and I feel like if there was a bigger tribe, I think they could have pulled more people to their side. And I think that, funnily enough, Navin is now hosted their own game show, and streaming friend of mine who competed on a show that no longer exists called The Island ended up being friends with them. And I was like, wait, you knew this person? Holy crap, I played with them. I was the reason they got voted out.
It's always funny when you find someone in an org and you're like working with them, and then all of a sudden you realize the two of you have a mutual acquaintance.
Well,
it's like,
so
wait a minute.
I never got to play with this streamer person. If I remember, their name is Malu. They were on a show called The Island, which is a live streamed / edited total drama / survivor show that no longer exists. And I got to be in season 3 and compete against, funnily enough, Red again. And other players like NKS and Elite Chris. And when Malu learned that I was on the season, we got to talk and stuff, and they were like, oh yeah, you should watch this other thing I was in. It's by this person named Navin. And it was like, you know Navin?
That's awesome. I remember not that long ago, a friend of mine who was on production, they sent me a DM one day, just out of the blue. They were like, hey, do you know someone named Paige? I was like, there was a Paige that I was like her #1 ally in an org like a year ago. Surely it's not the same Paige, though. It was.
Wow.
The reason they realized they both knew me was hilarious because he had mentioned to her that he was on prod for a Minecraft Survivor season. And Paige has nothing to do with Minecraft Survivor, but a year ago I told her about it. And so just on a whim, she was just like, oh, Rob the Gamer 1-5. And he was like, how the fuck do you know that?
That's hilarious.
Small worlds, right?
Oh, yeah. Also, Paige might hate me now, but I'm hoping to refix that soon.
Uh-oh.
I kind of fucked her over in a recent season hard. But, hopefully game is game. I'm sure we'll be fine. But I do need to reach out to her about it because she hasn't talked to me since.
There's very few people I've been in games with where vice versa we screw each other over that it truly gets to personal beef. There's like, I think there's only one person I'm truly mad at currently from games. So it is a natural emotion to be upset, especially like when you take them super serious. Cause like I've been doing these for so long. So hopefully you and Paige can work things out because they seem really cool.
I'm sure we will be able to. We're both mature adults. I mean, I think she's even older than me, so I'm sure that we can make it happen. But either way, we get to the next episode and surprise! Tribe swap.
Ooh.
Eh.
You sound so excited!
Yes, I was excited to meet new people and get to like bond and stuff, but like as soon as that swap happened, it's like, really?
Yeah,
I'm outnumbered.
I was gonna say, it's not looking great for you. Because from your original tribe, it's just you and Pokepat, right?
And honestly, to get swapped with anyone, Pokey is like the best bet, but like, man, it's like, why couldn't Kayla be there? Or not Kayla, Colin. Why couldn't Colin?
Yeah, because if Colin's there, then at least you feel like Colin might be able to protect you too.
Yeah. Because like I would pitch the idea like I have these people. Who do you have on your side? And then we can make a merge alliance, and then we'll be set for when the merge happens. But that we don't get to talk like that.
Yeah, I'm curious. So we get to the challenge. You guys end up winning. I'm very actually. I guess we'll talk about the challenge first. Anything we want to say about the challenge?
My heart of hearts is almost confident. If Spooks isn't that bad, he was throwing. I think he was trying to intentionally throw. I am 90% sure. And then eventually he got to the point where like, oh crap, I might actually have to try now because it's getting a little too obvious. Or he was just that bad. But like, holy crap, dude. I was like, dude, the holes that he was digging was here, here, and here. It has to be one of those spots. Dig there. And he was like, one. It just took forever to dig sand, bro.
So I'm curious if your tribe doesn't win, what do you think ends up happening here?
So during we kind of skipped this a little bit, so I'll bring it up a little bit. When Colin and Poke were on exile, Poke finds a steal a vote. So in theory, we could have tied it 3-3.
Right.
Out of all the people there, I feel like I wanted to target Spooks the most because of what they did in the challenge and just their demeanor. They kind of seem like I'm gonna lie to your face, spit in your food, and then stab you in the back, and you're gonna smile. Otherwise, I'm gonna make it worse for you. And that's not like an attack on their character, just more their gameplay style. I just want to make that clear because like I don't want people thinking like I'm saying mean stuffs about the guy. Because when I've talked to him afterwards, he's like a really cool dude. Just gameplay wise, he's like a social shark that's like, I don't care. I will manipulate you and try and make it seem like you don't know it.
Yeah, I mean, blanket statement, everything we say about everyone here is strictly talking about gameplay, not them as a person.
No.
I'd hope we don't have to specify that, but, fair
Disclaimer warning every 3 seconds, because people do not pay attention.
True, seriously. But, so I guess if you steal a vote, let's just say hypothetically, I guess, that you do steal Spook's vote. You do that, and then you just like, listen, if you want to go to Rocks, we'll go to Rocks, otherwise,
we would have done that. Because we had the numbers advantage. It was like 4-2.
Who would ever go to Rocks, right?
So I think it would have because well, actually wait, would the steal a vote still count for the
that's an interesting thing because I've had this debate before and I've made my opinion on this known. My belief has always been that if a steal a vote is used, whoever has this. Well, actually, hang on. Let me start that again. My belief has always been that if an advantage like an extra vote, a block a vote, or a steal a vote is used, their effects carry on in the event of a tie. Because the only reason in a tie vote that the two people do not vote is because we already know how they are voting. But if an advantage like that is suddenly in play, then that changes things. So, in my opinion, in this case, you would still have basically everyone would still vote, but you would still cast a vote for Spooks.
Yeah.
Which would still make it essentially a 3-3 tie.
Because, like, another thing, too, I don't know if Bushy would have worked with me. Because, like, after hearing Bushy's story, I really wanted to work with him more. And, like, I felt like we had some sort of short connection, but I didn't get to grow that more. But, like, if I didn't go to exile and we were up for vote, I would have tried to pull him to our side and be like, hey, if you're working with Colin, like, I think Colin will work with us, and you, like, come work with us on this one. Like, you guys are already the majority anyway, so, like, if you guys vote out this person, then, like, it won't affect you. But I don't know if he would have fallen for that or not, because he's actually another experienced player from another whole set of different communities. I think he does UHC survivors from, like, the Reddit UHC group, where they do like how we're in here with voice mod. I don't know if he still does them, but I saw a stream where he was, like, doing that, and, like, he was being very social and strong. So, like, he's a top player.
Yeah. But we don't live in this timeline. We live in the timeline where you won.
Thanks to PokePat, mind you. Clutching that up.
And the other tribe, things get interesting.
Oh. That was an interesting tribal.
I don't even know what to say with that, but
Red really bought what they were selling him.
Whoops.
Yep. I was really hoping that Colin would have maybe tried to work with Blue, but I get for that round for him not to, or Solaris, I should say. But, like, it's like, man, getting to watch that, because I got, for some reason, I'm still upset about this, that I got chosen to go to exile and there was nothing there. And I asked production later, we're like, hey, was there anything hidden there that I was being dumb? And like, no, for your round there was actually nothing. Are you kidding?
Hey, you got the spectate tribal though. Come on.
I did.
What a tribal you get to watch too.
Do you edit things out of these podcasts, or do you, like, bleep things out?
In general, we don't edit things out unless there's...
I don't think you'll get too upset by this if I say it then. They forgot me until the very end.
They forgot to bring you to tribal?
Yes. And then they're like, I was like typing, like, am I supposed to be there yet? And they were like, oh yeah. But I didn't miss much anyway, and they, like, recapped it for me. So, like, I didn't lose anything for that. But it's one of those funny things where it's like, I literally had nothing, and then I was still there.
No shade to Prod. Obviously I can't go into it. But on the Minecraft season I hosted, at one point, I made a small mistake. We just kind of rolled with it. I don't even think it was... The kind of mistake was something that, like, the players never would have known it was a mistake. Mm-hmm. Basically, something that was supposed to happen at this time happened at a slightly later time because I forgot to do it when I wanted to.
I cannot preface how much. I cannot preface how much. Sorry to interrupt, but, like,
no, you're good.
How great Oxy's staff is. Like, that season, and then the 2 seasons I got to be part of as staff. Dude knows how to pick people to, like, do things for him. Like, and not just for him, like, he does stuff too. I worded that a little badly, but, like, he knows how to build a team. and he knows how to pick a good cast. There's been very few times I've seen like arguments happen, and those very few times it's about a small thing or like, should we do this person or that person? And he resolves it quick. He chooses the thing. He knows what he wants. He has crafted so many great seasons. I can't wait for after season 11, 12, and 13 to come out, because like I got to help. I basically built the camps, like not all of them, but like I helped a lot with like season 12 and then a lot in season 13, and I got to help make a lot of serious design choices for the camps, and I felt so honored that he let me do that. But like the challenge designs, the aesthetics, the casts he picks, he's got a mind for this stuff, and I hope he continues doing this stuff, because he is, I consider him one of the big six, like of all like the top names in the community, whether they host Survivors, Big Brothers, or their original stuff. I'd say he's one of the top 6 of all time.
I'm curious. Who is this group of 6? Do you care to name
So
them?
I'm talking about like size per se, not necessarily quality of show.
That's
so like
fine.
Elite Chris, Andrew Yallo, Striker, or from Strikeout Game Show, him, Cav, and then there's like a bunch of other people you could probably fill in there. You could either say a Joker or like Chalky or anyone really. So I just kind of leave that last spot a little open because people rise up and down. But like,
Yeah.
Oxy is top notch, and I think he has the most seasons right now technically that are like fully edited and not just like little highlight reels.
I'm not familiar with Striker. Most of the other names you said I know of.
So Striker is one of the big names from Game Show Central. He is notorious for a game show where it's all about challenges. So there's no vote outs, there's no social part. It's like if you get last place in the challenge, you're eliminated. If you get second to last, you have a disadvantage. If you're first place, you get a slight advantage.
Ooh, I would not do well on that.
I have failed to get on that show several times. They actually stopped inviting me because like I kept failing, and also because like they wanted to try newer faces. So I'm good friends with Striker. He's one of the coolest dudes.
Oh, well, that's cool. Alright. So Nikos ends up going in a kind of crazy boat that you were supposed to kind of see, but you really kind of didn't.
And it also ruins my whole thing of like trying to plant the seeds of a Nikos and Hades fight.
Yeah! So here's the fun thing is you get to your tribe, you see Hades, and you're like, so Hades, I want to know who threw out your name?
Yeah, because I didn't want him to come back to me, because like I know how Zalek is. He's a really good social, chaotic player. We've been against each other. There's one, we did a Minecraft Mario Party thing together, and it's still on YouTube by Billy Bo 10K. The last time we played with each other, he got a warp item that warped to the next closest player because he was like far in the back. And how this Mario Party worked, it was a life system. So if you lose all your lives, you were out. He was down to his last life. I, coincidentally, before he played this item, landed on a lose a life space. And I was down to my last 2. He warps to the next closest person, and the host asks the staff, like, hey, with this item, do you get the effects of the player that he teleports to? And they were like, yes. Hey, Zalek, you're going to lose a life. His name is now Nikos, by the way. I don't know if I think he's okay with knowing his previous name out there. If it's not, then I will apologize to him later. But I know how crazy of a player is and how we go back and forth. Like we were such good friends. Like us betraying each other meant nothing because it was just a game. So I knew eventually he would try and go for me, and he made that very clear in his confessionals. So I clocked that, luckily. So I was trying to set up Hades versus Nikos.
Oh, it would have been so great.
Because I kind of did a lot of the running around telling people, hey, vote Hades. Hey, vote Hades. Hey, you. Hades is the one that this name's been thrown out. Not saying I threw out his name, but people have been telling me his name. So you guys need to know this. Because like if Nikos wanted to, he could be like, yeah, George was like throwing your name out a lot like crazy. And like in that timeline, I had to beat him to the punch.
No, absolutely. I just find it hilarious that on episode 4, one of the YouTube comments, I'm just gonna read this because I thought it was so funny. God, I can't wait until merge because then Nikos and Hades are gonna have a fuck ton of conflict, and I'm extremely excited for that. Edit. Well, guess Nikos and Hades won't have that conflict.
Nope.
The-
That's one of those unfortunate what ifs. That would have been cinema, but sadly, it just wasn't meant to be. And Gonzo did a really good job of getting into Red's head and like getting him to flip. Yeah. Gonzo is one of those legendary players. There's a reason why he was invited back to 11.
Oh, was he? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's in the second chance season where it's all one-time players. They wanted to do an actual second chances season because they have enough players for that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I can kind of say this because it didn't end up happening. One of the seasons we were planning to do, and we didn't get enough casting for it, we were going to beat Australia to the punch on this idea. We were going to do US versus the world.
Ooh.
And we did not get enough world players for it.
Yeah.
It's like, darn. And then seeing Australia do it, it's like, ah!
It's something I've considered trying to do, but it would be a little difficult to pull off. Because, you know, there are definitely international players, but there's not that many.
Well, I obviously we can't say it, but I told you about my idea for one of your seasons if you'd let me do it with you.
Oh, I would. Believe me, we will hold on to that idea. It is something I would love to do if we can make it happen.
I think I can find some people. I think I've had an idea for like even trying to reach out to an old school YouTuber for that and seeing if they could get their family involved. Not that it would probably work, but
okay. Well, yeah,
the rest of the real
we'll
idea
keep in touch about that. We'll keep in touch. Because I am interested in what you propose as an idea. So.
But back to this,
it's about when the right time is, and I don't think it's the right time yet.
But with Nikos, seeing him go home was like sad, and like it sucked to see like the only person I know go like that, because like he is so dedicated to the game, and I don't know what's happened to him. I haven't heard from him in a while or seen anything of him in a while. I don't know what's up with him. So if he ever sees this somehow, I hope he's doing well. I hope he still tries this again. I hope he might even audition for the Real Survivor and get on, because like he is one of those players that is like so fun to play against, so fun to watch, and reminds me of the older eras of the community. And I feel like more players like that need to come back. And that's why I stuck around so long, to show people like, hey, you can still do this. You can come back and like fight and hang with these newer generation players who are crazy good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Also, fun fact. So with his elimination, do you remember his whole speech thing and the thing he threw into the fire?
I do. I saw that back. I was curious what was going on.
So what did you think that was alluding to?
My guess was my personal guess was that was entirely to basically fuck with people, and that he had like a poem ready like a couple days beforehand if he got voted out, and he was just gonna fuck with people.
So like he basically was trying to yes, he was trying to act like he had some disadvantage that screwed them over, and it was nothing.
So my read was right.
Yes, 100% right. And I had told my tribe about it because we got to talk a little bit before swapping. I was like, so this is what happened, and like Nikos said this and this, and that must mean they have some sort of disadvantage for the next challenge or something. And then we find out it's merge.
That's wild though. I do like that as like an idea though, where it's like someone gets voted out and they're like, big fuck you to my tribe.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Especially because then you could use something like that to like almost blackmail your tribe into keeping you in a way, which is a very weird situation. But
I think
Ooh.
it would work if like you were a player that was sent to exile for a short time. Maybe like you come
Yeah.
back for a little bit during a social phase. Like I guess it could be like the modern journeys or whatever, right? Like how Survivors now loves the journey rather than an exile.
Mm.
So you could say like that's like your reward or something, and then people are like, oh crap, well we can't vote him out because that means we're screwed later, if they want to believe you.
True. All right. So, as we mentioned, we get to the merge,
Yeah, hey yo.
and you get to reunite with your allies, Pokepat, uh, Colin,
Jerry,
Jerry.
a little bit of Red, but now Red's like, I'm like, what are you doing, Red?
Yeah.
Well, everything's about to go great. Nothing is gonna go wrong.
No.
No, no.
I don't know.
I will say we are at the point where I didn't get to quickly rewatch this, so I'm somewhat flying blind, but I'm excited to remember everything that happened here.
Yeah.
So yeah, how's merge go for you?
All right, you're gonna have to repeat that. Sorry, I failed when number came in.
Oh, you're fine. I basically was just saying, how did merge go for you?
I got the title quote. Could you read the title quote?
I'm too frazzled right now.
There you go. So basically, it was chaotic. I was working my butt off trying to make new bonds with people. And then Pokey pulls me aside and then is like, hey, so I'm going to explain to you what happened at Exile a while back because we had not gotten to talk about that. That he had the block a vote or the steal a vote. And then he had another clue for an idol because, like, I think it kind of shows it in the edit. He almost found our tribe's idol. He broke the block and it was supposed to change into something else and then it would appear. He did that, saw that nothing happened, walked away, then it appeared.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think there's like a little bit of text on screen or what. He's like,
Mhm.
yeah, I found some like stupid sponge or whatever, and then yeah, I still don't know what's going on. And then it was literally just like under the sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
he
tough.
missed it by that much. And so he somehow, I don't understand how he keeps finding stuff. He found another clue to the idol and explains to me that it's you have to look at the tree line and find different colored leaves. And that comes into play later, but it's like, holy crap, this is huge. We got the block of vote. Jerry's on board with us. Colin's with us, and he's telling me who he's got. So this is gonna be great. We can merge our alliances, and then the challenge happens, and Red wins, and then Red is basically telling people that I was running the tribe.
Which, you kind of were.
At least that first vote round for sure.
You were in a hella good position on your
Oh,
original.
I was for the early game. And one of the reasons too, I kind of was wanting to take charge in that early games because like early on, no one was really saying names, so I was panicked. Like, okay, crap. If someone says my name first, then people are going to stick with that. So I was sort of forced to step up in that one scenario. People were like, okay, whatever, that's fine. But
That was a tricky situation when you're in a spot where like no one's saying a name. So you're like, is no one saying a name because they're afraid, or is no one saying a name because the name is me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got very fortunate that I was able to get the name off me in the early game because like no one was really taking me as a threat yet, or if I was a threat, it was like, okay, we can say this to merge, like Nikos was. But when we get to after the challenge, which that challenge is so fun. If you remember, it's the bridge building one where you have to.
Oh,
it looked really fun.
That's a staple of Oxy's. He reuses that a lot because it is so.
Oh, does he? Okay.
That's
yes.
Fire.
But for me, I had to basically wonder why people were not saying anything to me. Like I was trying to talk to people because I didn't want to be the one throwing out names. Because So when I was talking with Saints, Colin finally tells me, like, hey, your name's out there. I'm trying to see what I can do. And I name drop Colin to Saints. That's when I was able to get the vote off of me. And I was hoping that Colin would realize, like, hey, you got to work with us, not with these people who are like doing all that. Instead, the group decides the basically, if I remember, the tribe name was Maki. I don't
So
always want to say pink.
yeah, I think it's something.
Maki's like, well, you know what? Colin is trying to play both sides. Pokepat is the link between Colin
Mhm.
and George. So let's go for Pokepat. In reality, they
Yeah.
hadn't realized we had formed a trio long before that, but they were thinking because of their exile, that's how we had a group.
Yeah. No,
And
I think it was
sadly,
Smooth that threw that out. It was like, yeah,
yes,
Pokey is the glue between the Colin George Pokey trio. So we need to get Pokey out.
yeah. He's the one that pushed that. He's the one who was able to get the vote to switch off of me, and that saved my game. But sadly, uh, Colin got a little too cold feet and joined them basically instead of trying to help us out. Because with all the advantages we could have had, I think if Colin was able to convince Gonzo, then we could have gotten Saints out right away.
Yeah, that's
And
that makes things a little easier for you.
yeah, Colin really made my game hard, and I had to like grind hard after that point. I had to like get
Yeah.
my nose to the ground and start being an assassin because like I could not just be overly charismatic anymore. I had to like choose my battles, when to talk, when not to talk. I was also like very cagey with doing confessionals because I didn't know if like they would ask us questions or they would ask other players questions about people. So I was like, okay, I need to be very tactical in how I talk to people now.
Yeah. And well, speaking of people making your game hard, after Pokepet gets out, goes up to you and drops you a little something something in front of literally every single person.
I
Drops
know. And,
the clue.
do you want to make that even more funnier? Is
What?
he already explained that clue to me and how it works and what it is,
Yeah.
and then he throws it to me. So I'm like, why are you giving this to me? So I'm like, this is tree mail. Why are you trying to screw me? I had to say that because like I had to do something. And like
Yeah.
I went to the side to Bushy and be like, hey, like thank you for guys like not voting me. I don't know why he tried to screw me over like that. I hope I can work with you. Blah 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 blah. And he's like, yeah, dude, you're good, bro. Whatever.
Yeah.
And
Wild.
but he just, and he meant well in doing that. Like he was like, I gotta help him. I want him to be safe because like I definitely felt like a brotherhood with him. Like I wish I could have played and all my like ever since like because I've done a few more of these afterwards. I've never gotten to play with him again. I would have loved to have worked with him again, even though I think he
Pokepat.
probably wouldn't want to work with me because spoiler alert, he was also invited to season 11. And one of his things he was saying, like, he felt like he was not in control of his group. Like, he was basically doing stuff for other people. So, as much as I would love to work with him again and, like, have a super alliance with him again, I don't know if he would feel the same way. So, if I were to play with him again someday, I think he would have to come to me because if I went to him, I feel like I would be forcing my views on him, and I don't think that's what I would actually be doing. But I would be worried that he would be doing that. And I'm sure like, after this, he'll DM me like, George, what are you talking about? Like, I would gladly work with you again. But it's like one of those things where it's like maybe I'm overthinking it, but like when I say like he's probably one of the greatest alliance members I ever had, I genuinely mean that. Like he was so cool to hang out. He had a heart for the game. So like it really upset me when he went home because I feel like he had much more to give to that season.
Yeah, and I mean, you and Jerry tried to keep him,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that
but even to
Jerry.
steal a vote, there's just nothing you can do.
Yeah, Jerry even was like saying, and he clocked it, like, I don't think it's gonna work, but I'm gonna stick with them because like I don't want to upset them. And I think that
Yeah.
really helped me bond with Jerry more afterwards. Cause like he stuck his neck out for me. And later when a situation happened where he was in trouble, I was like, if he was willing to do that for me, I can't just not stick my neck out for him later. And we can get to that in a few rounds. But Jerry was so cool. and I wish we could have worked it, but Colin flipped at the right moment for him and his game that he thought he could have a bond because he was the social butterfly for their tribe. Saints liked him, Gonzo liked him, and I think like yeah, he might have tarnished his reputation a little bit by like leaking information to me, but it didn't fully sabotage the people who wanted to work with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it sucks what Colin did, but I think for Colin's game, I think Colin made the right.
Yeah, I think for him it was he thought it was a right move for him. It wasn't like
Right.
malicious, but from outside looking in, I think it's the wrong choice. But obviously that's because it affected me, and I think
Right,
it
of
affected
course,
him.
of
But
course.
to him in the moment, it was the right move for him in his eyes. And people can debate whether or not it was in the end the right move for him or not. Um, it happened, and it's the game, and I was still trying to work with him in some way, but part of that trust was a little bit broken after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, after that craziness, like the next episode comes, and see, I'm gonna need the lore here a little bit. I think we got a little bit of an explanation, but yeah, Bushy got medevaced. So what happened there? What happened?
So we get back to tribal. Everything's normal. We're trying to talk our game. That's when I talk to Bushy about the thing because I'm trying to work over Bushy and all that. Then we go to challenge. There's a twist this one. It's a double immunity, and we go into pairs. So they edited all that out because after the challenge, Bushy was having a huge internet problems. Like the game was lagging out. His Discord was somewhat working, but like it was not right. And he was like telling everyone, you know what? This is not fair to the game. If I was a host, I wouldn't want a player in this state. Please vote me out. So we do that. We do a tribe, basically a mock tribal. Everyone votes him out. He goes home. We say goodbye, and
Yeah.
it's heartfelt and
So,
all that.
all right. So in that case, I have a couple questions then. Which pair won immunity?
Red and Saints, funnily enough.
Oh.
And that kind of like helps the next vote push because he not only did Saints win a challenge, it also Red has won a second challenge in a row. So Red is already like establishing himself to be a dominant name. And then, funnily enough, I was paired with Smooth, and we almost won. We missed by one jump, and then they just beat us.
Yeah.
So me and Smooth now had a strong bond, and we were like talking a lot. And it was like, I might actually flip to working with Smooth because like me and him were like getting really close, and afterwards we were talking a bunch after the challenge. So it like if that had been added to the story, it would have been cool. But production wise, I can see why they cut it because
Yeah.
it's like it's a nothing burger episode. It might have a few connotations for the next episode, but for that, it made sense for them to cut all of it, not show the challenge, not show the social part, and just say, "Hey, he basically medevaced."
No, that's fair. If Bushy doesn't go here, who do you think? What do you think ends up happening? Are you and Jerry just screwed, or
probably? I had plans, but I don't fully remember like what my goals were. I think like I was trying to still push the Saints thing, but that obviously wouldn't have worked. And I think basically right away the social talk was just Bushy because of that. So I don't know what really could have happened. So I think that's just one of those things where it's like it really did help my game there. Like, and that sucks because Bushy is so cool.
Yeah. No, I was so sad when this happened because I told Rob about this. Insane coincidence. So I don't know if you knew about this or whatever, but like, so Bushy has a YouTube channel where he's like posted like Pokemon Jeopardy videos, very unrelated to Minecraft Survivor. And over the past however many, as his videos have been coming out, I stumbled upon his videos. I was literally watching his most recent video before I started watching the first episode in preparation of this. And then I watched it. I'm like, why does this dude's name seem familiar? I'm like, wait, is that? And then I looked at the channel and I'm like trying to like connect the dots. I'm like, there's no way, right? And it's like he's got the Finn profile picture on his YouTube channel. He's got the Finn skin. It's the same name. I'm like, this is. I literally messaged Rob. I'm like, this is like I know this means nothing to you, but this is like an insane coincidence. I was just watching this video that has nothing to do with Minecraft Survivor, and then he's just on the season, and I was just so flabbergasted. So I was very sad when Bushy went home because I was like, obviously I was rooting for you, and I'm like, oh, Bushy, that's the guy. I was just watching him. I was hoping he made it very far, so I was a little disappointed on how that all went down. Very
Yeah,
unfortunate.
Bushy is one of the people, like, if I could communicate to him, I would try and tell him to join either Rob's or your show because, like, he is a phenomenal player. And
Very
hashtag
funny.
can't wait for Big Homie season 7.
Season
Yeah.
7, brother. We're only on season 5.
I know. I'm trying to manifest something. Shush. But yeah, I hope Bushy continues to have fun with his YouTube stuff. I hope he tries another game show again because I think he hasn't done one in a few years. And if he sees this, maybe he'll hear how much we love him, and maybe he'll try and do more stuff because legend player, legendary.
Uh,
All right. Well, with that, we get to the actual episode, down to 9 now. And this is where things, go from looking real bad for you and Jerry, and somehow things start looking up for you.
mhm.
So right away we go to the auction challenge, and like the first thing is doing a bunch of stuff to earn money. Everyone beats me to every single barrel that has money in it. It's like,
Whoops.
are you kidding me? I ended up like with only like 17 coins, and everyone was had like 50, 60, 40, 100. And it's like, oh, I basically can't bid on anything. Great.
Whoops.
So my entire thing was like, hey, if you guys need extra money, take from me. And then like maybe let me have some benefits of it. Like maybe let me see something or understand something. And it ended up, none of the stuff I helped with ended up helping me. But I think that made people want to work with me a little more because I sacrificed stuff to help others win immunities or awards or all that stuff. So I think that really helped me. And I think it also maybe brought Colin a little bit back to me, like, hey, grass is green still over here, dude. You don't want to be drowned in pink.
Yeah, because you have to imagine that from Colin's perspective, he's like, okay, we take out George, we take out Jerry. Now what?
Oh yeah, because I think the only person that was still super close to him was Gonzo. So like Gonzo is like the only name where it's like, weirdly enough, like I knew that and I was trying to communicate with him, but I never really got to talk to Gonzo too much until after this. And we barely were like starting to communicate, even though I knew Colin's close ally was Gonzo from that side, and then Colin knew Jerry was close to me. So it was just kind of one of those weird things. Like we knew we had people, but it didn't get to work out until this vote. And it kind of ended up working out being the prisoner's dilemma, because the name that we've been saying for so long, get Saints out, get Saints out, get Saints out. People are finally like, you know what, we should probably get Saints out.
Yeah. Yeah, and at the auction, Saints, I'm pretty sure, is the one that gets just like sent to exile as one of the things, which is, very unfortunate. I think he found like a clue for something that was like hidden, but it was like at the next challenge. So I was like, oh, if
Yeah.
Saints makes it through this episode, Saints might have a little something. But
So funnily enough, it was always hidden at the challenges. It wasn't just, the next, it was always there. But the clue was to show like, hey, there is something hidden outside of the challenges. You just need to look around. You need to get away from everyone. And as keen-eyed viewers may know, Hades is the one who found it.
Yeah, is that what ends up being? Is that the safety without power that
Yes.
Hades? And that comes into play pretty crazily later too.
We'll save that for later.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, one of the reasons why I wanted to go for him, even though he was cool with me at the start, he seemed like one of those impulsive players. Just by the way you talk to him and the way he like explained things, he felt too much of a chaotic seed, and I needed people who were more laser focused on stuff so I can get around that. So he was the name that was like, guys, we need to get this out because it helps me. But I mean, he's a chaotic player, guys. Like, you don't know what he's gonna do. It helps me, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying to them that it's chaotic for their game, and you don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. Well, Saints is the one target, and then on the other side, your buddy Colin is getting some smoke his way this episode. Those are the two main names out there, and it comes
Mhm.
down to a very close vote.
I still find it crazy that neither you or Jerry get a single vote this round.
I think I just was able to ingrain myself enough because I had just gotten to work with Smooth. So Smooth was now starting to be cool with me. So Smooth was kind of like, I don't want to go after this George guy. Colin's kind of being a rat. He didn't end up working with me in this vote. He was like, you know what, let's go for Colin. And that's why he was trying to pull me aside, him and Spooks, who I don't trust, and like, hey, Colin's been feeding information to us. You need to get rid of him. And I don't think the edit shows it, but they do show what I said. This could be the $1 million mistake because I was very close to actually voting out Colin that round.
Wow.
But part of me was like, last second, I was like, you know what? You haven't talked to me properly this entire game, Spooks. You haven't like tried to reach out to me. And then this one time you now need me, you try and talk to me. I think I'm gonna stick with my group. And just if it screws me over, it screws me over. It ended up working hugely to my benefit. But like, I was like, okay, do I cut off this new doorway or do I stick on the path that I'm on and keep trudging forward? And it worked out much better. I think if I went that other way, I probably would have been gone probably in the final 7 rather than where I ended up being.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Well,
5 to 4 votes. Saints is sent out.
Yeah.
And I did want to mention, I don't know, I have in my notes it was this episode. I couldn't remember if it was this one or the next episode. But I think it's around this time we could segue into the next episode with this. You find the idol. So
Yep.
that is I did want to make sure we brought that up. You said Pokey already like showed you the clue, so I don't think it was necessarily because Pokey threw the clue to you at Tribal that you found it. No, okay, that's what
No.
okay.
It was the exact same word for word what he already described to me.
Yeah.
But I kept looking on the tree lines. I ended up going on top of these jungle trees, and then randomly there was just dark oak leaves on the edge of a tree. So I dug through. There's an item box, or not an item box, a dropper. I click it. There's the idol. I only bring up like the idol twice in confessionals, I think, because I was trying to be very cagey about it. And there was an idea after the season was done filming. What if we don't show me finding the idol until I play it? And that was very close to almost happening. But Oxy was like, you talk about it too much enough as it is. We're just going to keep it chronological rather than flashback.
Yeah.
I honestly would have preferred the flashback, but I get it. I think it's still a cool edit. But that would have added so much more punch for when I play it, I think. But still a great editing choice the way he did it.
Mm-hmm. No, that would have been I see why he did it the way he did, but that also would have been super sick because it's like a little callback. Like, even though you say that him throwing it to you at Tribal wasn't like the reason you found it, like in the storytelling wise, you could be like, oh, this it makes it a little better of a story if it looks like that was the reason why you found it or whatever. Could have been a cool little flashback thing, but no, very awesome that you were able to find it though. Gives you a little hope.
Yeah, I think that might have been like for a recorded at least the first time I ever found an idol. Because most of the time I might find one in unrecorded or someone will give me one in unrecorded. Because like people don't really try and hide them too well. Where it shows like they want to make sure it's like you actually have to look for it and not just like a quick find. So I felt over the moon and felt bad for Pokey that he missed out on 2 idols twice.
So close.
I won't spoil for season 11, but let's just say he continues to hunt for idols in 11, and hopefully you can get him on here to talk about that because I'm very proud of him for how he plays in 11, and I can't wait for 11 to finish. But that's probably only when you can talk to him because it's technically not finished yet.
Yeah, we try to not. I've had people contact me and be like, "Oh, I want to talk about this season." I'm like, the season's only half out. I don't want to be in a position where I have questions that you cannot answer.
Yeah.
And I especially don't want to be in a position where someone accidentally says something they shouldn't. So I made it a hard rule. I do not talk to you unless the entire thing is released.
Mm-hmm.
Or if there was like a show that was half out and like the host has made it clear the rest of it's not being released, then maybe. Because that's a whole different situation. But no, if things are being aired, I don't want to talk about it until it's fully aired. Especially because, I want the attention to be on the actual host and what the show is, not here. That's why I like talking about seasons that have already,
Yeah.
It brings renewed interest to a season,
Because it
not
sucks
stealing
when
the
like a
spotlight.
season gets leaked too.
Yeah, no, I would never.
'Cause
I would never want to either accidentally or on purpose contribute to that at all.
Because I think Chris's season 9 got fully leaked, and that like took the wind out of it, but they still aired it.
From what I heard, yeah, it's funny because season 9 of Chris's is still the only one I haven't seen.
Funnily enough, loop back earlier, the host of The Island played on season 9.
Oh, there you go. I've seen seasons 1 through 8 of Chris, and I saw season 10. I did not watch 9 yet for some reason. But, I'll get to it at some point. But, we're at Final 8. And, in theory, things are looking good, because you have a group of 5 now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, you want to walk us through how, or what happens?
Surely this round isn't crazy at all, right? Like, we just had a crazy
this
little
should be a
vote last
relaxed
round. This should be a nice little easygoing round. Just walk us through how this very, very non-stressful round went.
Yeah, Final 8s usually aren't bad.
No. Hades doesn't accidentally find, or not accidentally, but doesn't find the safety of that power. No, he doesn't wander off during that challenge. The challenge. Oh, the challenge. That one was really brutal because like the puzzle and like all the parkour stuff, and it was in rounds. Eventually, we were running so far behind that we eventually all agreed to stop, and whoever got furthest along in the puzzle was the winner, and it ended up being Smooth. And I was like happy for Smooth, but man, just like the vote should have been so simple. Like Red was the clear threat, and yeah, maybe that was a detriment to me for going for an original Solaris, but like he had already been proven to flip and like kind of be a rogue agent. Yeah, he could have said like, "Oh, I'll be more loyal to you if you keep me," but at that point, it was like, dude, you've already shown where your loyalties are. You screwed over Nikos, and you've been working with them ever since, except for the Saints vote. So for me, it was obvious to vote Red, but like they were still hell-bent on going after Jerry. Like the fact that we tied was insane. And this is the round where me and Gonzo finally like locked in and talked to each other. And like during that vote, we messaged each other like, "Do you want to stick?" And we were like, "Yeah, we're gonna stick. We're gonna go to Rocks." And right then and there, we had like a Brotherhood of Steel. Like, okay, next round we're gonna be locked in. We're gonna work through this. Rocks. Gonzo's picked. Are you kidding?
So wild. I think when the vote first tied, Spooks is just like campaigning to Gonzo, like to flip over. Like not really talking to anybody else, at least in the episode. Just like fully try to convince Gonzo to flip. Gonzo doesn't flip. Everybody, stays where they are, and we get Rocks.
Well, like I said earlier, Jerry had already stuck his neck out for me. So for that round, I was not budging. I was not going to let Jerry go like that because
No, that makes sense.
He put his body on the line for me. If I didn't do it back, then I was a horrible Alliance member. So I was like campaigning hard, like, no, we are not flipping. Red is the easy vote here. I don't understand why y'all are making this complicated.
not to get too far ahead, but especially when the very next round is unanimous on red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a fun story about that round too, because that's the
Alright.
piston parkour, or not piston parkour, piston endurance.
We'll get there once we're done with this. Let's focus on this for now. But yeah, no, it's wild to me. I'm still. I know you just kind of explained it, but I'm still confused why. Because it seemed like red was a number for you now, and then you guys are just like, "No, we're voting red."
So for me, another thing too is I'm trying to get Colin and Saints on our side. So I'm thinking like, if I'm just sticking blue, 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 or Solaris, 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 then it's obvious I'm doing a begonging. So to try and reel Colin back in and be like, hey, I want a mixed group alliance. I'm not trying to just be blue. I want to vote red out.
Okay.
Red has already proven that he's not trustworthy. I want you and Gonzo in on this. And I was able to convince them. And that's why it was me, Jerry, Colin, Gonzo in that vote. And then red was the odd man out. And red was like, well, I got to vote Jerry then. Because like they're not going to work with me. And that's fair to red. But in that moment, I was just like, I just can't work with red anymore. I think he's gonna comp out and get to the end and be a strong front runner. Because like I even said, like now his name is kind of controversial, but I said he was like Joe from Second Chances and No Collar, Blue Collar, White Collar. Like he's just gonna comp out far and be a huge threat. And if he gets to the end, he's gonna have the story like I dominated and y'all could do nothing.
Yeah, it's always tricky figuring out when to cut someone like that. Alright, I guess I understand the logic behind targeting red.
Mhm.
I do get it. I'm trying to think if there's like any way you could have.
Oh, yeah, in hindsight, yeah, I should have kept red for another round or two because he was starting to like not be as good at challenges anymore. But in the moment, it's like this dude is gonna be the huge threat. And I've gotten to play with him a few more times, and he has been the huge threat for challenges and stuff. And funnily enough, we've been the last two times I played with him, me and him were like number ones almost, or at least close. So it's kind of funny how like that game I kind of pushed him down to the side, and then those ones I tried to work with him and it ended up not working in my favor.
Is there a world where you try to get like smooth as a fifth against red, or?
I did. I tried. He just did not want to do it because he was like, I think he saw Jerry for who he was as being a good social threat and a challenge beast too.
Yeah.
Because he won like 2 challenges in a row after that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, you guys get to the rocks, and it could have been you.
Oh yeah, but I was willing to do that for Jerry.
But it wasn't. Unfortunately, it was Gonzo. And
like,
one. Yeah.
Oh no, continue.
I was just gonna say, and once again, it seems like you're on the bottom. There's a group of 4 against a group of 3. And like every single round, it's like you put all the pieces back in the bag and you shake it up a bunch, and it's like, what is anyone doing?
So, again, I think it was my very good social skills that was able to like people like they knew I was crafty and like was good, but like they didn't want to get rid of me just yet. They're like, you know what? I'm fine with him being here another round. I like this guy.
Yeah, because I'm just gonna say it for what it is. You should have gone home like 3 different times by now. Like,
yes.
Like the fact that you made it to Final 4 is just baffling to me. Like, I really enjoy you, George. I think you're a great player. You should not have made it as far as you did. Like,
I've been doing this so long that I can, for the most part, read a room well and get far through. It's not consistent. Trust me. Like if you watch Jokers, you know what happened to me.
I was not happy about that. I'll tell you that. I made my opinion known heavily.
Yeah, regardless of that twist or not, love Joker's season, and I would love to play on Joker's again if I decide to come out of retirement or if he invites me.
Joker's cool.
But like as proof of concept, like I don't want people thinking like, oh yeah, I'm the mastermind, vote him out first every time. It's more like I can do great things, I can make great social moves, but there are also times where like people get me out. So like, please work with me. I want to make it to merge more, please.
Yeah. So we get to the final 7 immunity.
Mm-hmm. So
and
I don't remember most of the social phase in the early part because I think everyone was kind of like finally like, okay, we have the numbers. You know what? Colin's a flip flop, so we can risk voting out Red because, like, yeah, he is kind of the big threat, the big name. Everyone sees him as the big target. We get to the Piston challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I am better at Piston endurance than I am ladder endurance. Funnily enough.
Okay.
I am waiting until Red falls. And I had full intent of winning, but then I had a thought. Jerry has been on the block enough. I don't think they're gonna vote me at all this round. It's down to me and Jerry. Why not I just stare at the wall for a second and fall and guarantee Jerry's safe and make sure Red goes home?
Ooh, so you throw.
So, I did.
Oh.
And it worked beautifully, that plan. And I had told no one I had done that because I was saving that for my jury speech. And I didn't even say it in the reunion because, like, you know what? Maybe I'll bring it up if I ever play again. I'm not sure if that will ever happen or not, but it's like, you know what? I might as well tell you guys now. I threw that challenge to make sure Jerry did not go.
Interesting. I mean, it
And to
worked out
secure Red's
perfect.
fate. Oh, yeah. That was like one of the. I'm more known for my social play, but like that was a strategy. Was like, you know what? That's going to be my big hook, my big strategy moment there. Along with one other thing that happens later that I'm sure Brett here is really excited to talk about.
That's a scary move to make, though, because I mean, you're down to 7. Imagine what happens, though. Like, if you're taken out at 7, you're like, well, shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Honestly, I would have been happy with it because I think around this point, too, it's starting to be mentioned that I'm starting to not feel well. Funnily enough, today I'm also sick, so it also kind of fits, too. It kind of fits that.
Lore accurate.
Yes. So, for context, when I'm saying, like, I'm not starting to feel well and all that, at the time, I was on a graveyard shift job. So, I worked from 11 at night till 7 in the morning, and I'm not the type of person who can just fall asleep right away. I have to, like, unwind the day, so I'd fall asleep around 2 o'clock. So, at that point, before the game started, I was already up around 11 because I can't change my sleep pattern just for one day.
Oh,
So
no.
I was already up at 11 in the morning until recording starts at 7 in the morning.
Ooh.
And we go all the way until about midnight.
So you basically stay up for the equivalent of like 30 plus hours.
Pretty much. Well, not really.
God.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So I was starting to like not be in a good state of mind and health-wise. Like my stomach was hurting. I was actually starting to have intestine problems that I don't think I need to describe what I'm saying, but I think you can pick up what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I don't have that shift anymore. So when I play more now, it's more reasonable, even though now I can't really do these 24-hour shows as much as I used to anymore. Like literally last year, before I retired in 2025, I did like 23 different projects recorded and non-recorded to try and go out with a bang before my hiatus, retirement, whatever you want to call it. Like I'm basically now, if you invite me, I might show up because like you asked me and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I don't want to let you down, but I'm pretty much for now, at least for 2026, not really applying to stuff anymore and enjoying time away from it. And just like, my brain is like, I can go. My heart is like, I don't know if I should keep trying to go. But
yeah, it's a tricky situation. Now, it definitely takes a lot out of you to do things like that, and definitely the older you get, the harder it is.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was back when I was like 20 or so. I did one of the craziest things where I did a live stream. It was the longest video game live stream I ever did, where I was doing this challenge, which involved beating 6 different games in a row, all 100%.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it took me 26 and a half hours.
Holy.
And it was long, but here was the ridiculous problem I had. You ready? Was I did this for 26 and a half hours. I stopped my stream, took about a 10-minute nap, and then I had to go meet up with a group to work on a final project.
Oh
God.
no.
And the final project we were working on was for a theater class where I was one of the actors.
Oh,
So
dude.
I walk over. This is all a blur to me at this point in time. But I remember going through for a couple of hours, practicing lines and acting, being fucking dead. And
I'm so sorry, bro.
I've not done anything quite that long or that bad since.
So I think the worst part for me was after the fact when I was all said and done for me. I fell asleep, and then woke up like a few hours later, and then could not fall back asleep.
Oh no.
So I was just in more pain and suffering the next day.
Yeah.
And it was just brutal. And then I had to go to work because technically my work day starts Sunday night for my Monday shift. So it was just like brutal after that. So making it to Final Four in that state too, as well as like being my social self, is like crazy I lasted that long.
So all that to
That's
say,
amazing.
you get to the Final 7 challenge. You gave immunity essentially to Jerry because you're confident no one's gonna vote you, which, fair enough. No one does vote you.
I think it was like the prisoner's dilemma. I got enough people's minds like Red's a threat, Red's a threat, Red's a threat, Red's a threat. And everyone's like, yeah, Red's a threat. So
I mean, to be fair, I think I would have the same mindset as you, where someone like Red definitely, and I think to a certain extent Smooth as well, could really make a run and just win everything if you're not careful.
Oh, I agree. I was like, Smooth was on my radar, but like he had only won 2 challenges technically if you count the potion one. So I was like, you know what? I'm okay with like I can get Smooth later because I think Jerry has got a couple more wins than him, and I think like I have enough people now because like with I'm thinking Colin has now stopped his flipping game going back and forth. That like I've now got
Colin definitely won't flip again.
No. So to me it just made sense. It's time for Red to go, and it worked. I had another name in my cap and my feather that I could add to my jury speech, and I was like formulating more things. I kept the whole thing secret about throwing the challenge, so that way like that could be a bombshell. I kept the secret that like I was the one pushing Red's name, or not Red's name, Hade's name from the beginning. That's a bombshell. Me running the tribe, like even though they kind of knew it, I was able to play off enough. Like, yeah, it was just only the first vote, and then Red was just making up stuff to try and make my name out there. So like, I felt like I had enough of a story there that like I can win this thing.
So on that note, I actually have 2 quick questions for you. My first is, did you guys know from the beginning of the season that it was going to be a Final 2 as opposed to a Final 3?
I don't remember. I actually no, wait. No, I was shocked because I was like content with like, you know what, at least Colin made it to the Final 3, even though he's flipping. And then when he says like he reveals like it is a Final 2, I was like, oh no.
Okay, so you were under the impression it was a Final.
Like kind of some people were speculating because of like the jury number and all that, but like Oxy in particular was trying to make it a big reveal because I think it was Chilling Cool that was like when are we going to get another final two? You haven't done it in forever. Like, can we please get a final two? And Oxy was editing really hard to make it look like it was a final three.
Okay. And then the other question I have, I guess, is that if this is a world where this is a final three, and that's the mindset you're going with, who are you looking at as your final three then?
So Jerry and Colin. Like,
It
those
is
were
just
my
Jerry and Colin.
Yeah. I had
Okay. I was just curious.
I had no intention of working with Spooks or Hates. They
Okay.
were people that, like, Spooks in particular, I was like, you're a social rat in the game. Like, you're just like snaky. You're very much a snake in the game. And then Hades, I was like, yeah, you're a front runner, you're a top guy, but like, if you made it to the end with me, everything I did countered you. If you made it there, I don't see you as a threat.
And
I
you're
want to keep
not
my group because, like, for me, I don't want to betray my group to get to the end in this one, because I was like,
Okay.
even though Colin had betrayed me a few times, maybe I would have been willing to vote him out. Maybe.
And you
But
weren't
Jerry, no.
concerned about your chances against Colin.
No, Colin, I feel like people were going to be upset with him for flipping so much.
Okay. Because, like,
And
I
then Jerry-
definitely agree with you that I think you beat Jerry in a final three.
I think, yeah, because I feel like Jerry was like kind of like sort of seen as my number two.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's fair to him, because like he did a lot. Like, there was a lot of times, like, when I was starting to feel sicker and sicker, he did more of the talking and I was just DMing people because I did not have the strength to talk as much. And it kind of shows a little bit in the edit that I'm like a little less active. Like, it's not expressly shown, but like you can kind of see that like Jerry's around more than I am in those last few episodes.
Okay. So, either way, you guys are able to convince everyone that Red is the cop that he is. And just like that, Red is gone.
I was content as a clam. I thought everything was going my way. I had been able to claw the roll back into my favor. And you know what? Even if it's 3-3, that's better odds than 4-3 or 4-2.
Then we get to finals. Yep. Sorry.
It's just like I was ready for the next round.
Yeah, so we get to this final six. I'm excited to talk about this final six.
I'm ready for this round too. Woo, woo, woo.
Alright. Anything much happened before the challenge, or we just kind of jumped straight to the challenge?
I think in the episode, this is where Hades first tells Smooth about the safety without power. Says he wants to play it on somebody else so they have the votes. I want I have no clue. Is that how it works in Real Survivor? Because I mean, nobody's done this, right? In Real Survivor.
No one's done it in Real Survivor. The only time it was used was, if my memory is correct, Jeremy in Winners at War played it on himself to make sure he was safe. That after Winners at War, I kind of fell off of Survivor for a while, so I don't know if it's been used more.
Yeah. You're talking about the safety without power,
yes.
Right?
Yeah, the safety without power.
I remember one of the things, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. When designing my season, naturally I look at different advantages and stuff. I'm not saying whether or not I use it or not, but I look at different advantages and I think, okay, if I was to use this, what would the rules be? And that's part of why I decided and rationalized like how the extra vote, block a vote, and steal a vote would work on a tie. And I realized that, in my opinion at least, using a safety without power on someone else is something that should not be allowed.
Fair enough.
I understand the reasoning behind it, but I also feel like if you wanted to make an advantage that does the exact same thing but forces you to choose someone else, I think that works just as well.
Yeah.
But I think having one advantage where you can choose either yourself or a target is too powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
that's my thought process.
I think the way Oxy viewed it is like similar to an idol. You can play it for someone else unless it's specifically stated otherwise. And I
Mhm.
think that's like with their logic and production and all them, they're like, yeah, I don't see why you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's a cool moment. Whether I did or didn't do what I did next, I would not have been mad about it, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd have been like bummed out,
I
like,
mean,
I went out to a twist like that.
I remember there was an unrecorded I was a part of where I specifically was able to make a massive move. This is an unrecorded, so I like didn't talk about it. But it was like a massive move that I made around like final 7 or final 8 that specifically involved me playing a safety without power on someone else. And I remember in my mind being like, I don't think this should be allowed.
Mm.
But I asked production and they were like, yeah, you can do this. I'm like, well, I mean, I kind of disagree with me being allowed to do it, but I mean, if you're going to let me do it, I'm going to
If
do
you
it.
say so.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
I mean, you play with the rules you're given. If you don't agree with them or not, like, you know, that can be a discussion for another day. But
Mm.
no, my opinion is very much that a safety without power, as it is, should only be used on the person who plays it. Now, obviously, you could give it to an ally and have them play it. So, like, if,
Yeah.
for example, you wanted your ally to use it, you could stand up a tribal, give it to your ally, and be like, play this right now. But it's up to them if they do it or not. But to play it on someone else, I like it as an advantage, but to me, that's a different advantage.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know, I'd never seen it used like that before, obviously. So I was like, I had no clue this was a thing, or like, you know, whatever. But you know, the rules are the rules. If it said, you know, in the note or whatever that you could do that, I mean, that's the most
I,
optimal way to use it right there. Like,
yeah,
shoot.
that
And
was a smart move. Like or not Red, sorry, Hades is like a really good mind for the game. And funnily enough, after this season, he retired, and he's not done one since. Out of these years later, and it's like,
damn.
I can't get my lick back on him. But like, he made a really good move, except he chose the wrong person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, had he just sent you home instead, oh boy, things change. You know?
Oh yeah. Well, one thing he was trying to see, like, he had a thought like, what if he could do it for Jerry? And then later after, but he's like, you know what, that's probably too weird. I'll just do Colin or George. He later asked production, like, could I have done that? And they were like, no, he has immunity. You can't.
Yeah.
That would be too broken. So, but his idea was to do it to Jerry at
Oh
first.
gosh. That would have been crazy if they.
So,
Wait,
if
so they didn't let him do it to Jerry because Jerry won immunity?
yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. I feel like
On the
Bro's already
contrary,
safe.
For the record, he never actually tried to play it. It was his first idea. He didn't end up doing it. He didn't ask till after the fact, so he wasn't told no until later.
Because actually, you just reminded me of what had happened. Was in the recorded that I just said where I played a safety without power on someone else, I specifically played it on the person that won immunity.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Because I remember me and it was like, I wish I could remember exactly what happened. But it was something like there was a group of 4 of us against a group of 3. One of the group of 3 won immunity, and we knew that they had an idol.
Yeah.
And so we realized that if I play the safety without power on the person who has immunity, that allows us to split our votes 2 and 2.
Mm-hmm. Smart.
Whereas if I sent home one of the other 2, then the other one just plays the idol on them and we're fucked. And if I don't send anyone home, then we have to put all 4 of our votes on one person and we risk being fucked.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was so proud of myself for figuring it out, and my allies were like, holy shit, Rob, you fucking evil genius. Oh, man.
Hades would have been proud of you.
I don't remember which... I have to look back and try to figure out which non-recorded that was. And yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look back into that, but I do. It's starting to come back to me, the details of
Yeah.
So basically, how everything kind of like fell apart that round is like we go to the challenge. It's the fishing one where you have to like pull a letter for a word puzzle across a lane and then make the word. Uh,
it.
I kept getting screwed over. Like for some reason, like my rod was just missing, or like it just wouldn't pull far enough. And I was like, "Are you kidding?" 'Cause I think at one moment I was in the lead, and then I fell back and behind, and then Jerry ended up clutching it. So it felt so good. It's like, okay, we're 3-3. I'm starting to feel a little sickly, and I want to be in that final edit. I was also half tempted to quit and then give my idol to Jerry so he could be safe the next round and then guarantee himself
Oh
final four.
man.
I ended up deciding to stick around because, like, you know what? I don't think I can quit like that. I don't want to do
I'm glad
that.
you stuck around.
But
Um,
basically, when discussion is just basically one group stays one way, one group stays another way. We try and do a little bit of coercing, but no one's budging. So it's kind of obvious it's going to be either me or Colin getting votes, and then uh, um, Smooth is going to get votes. But they didn't know it was actually going to be Smooth, I think.
mhm.
Because like we don't know who's like playing espionage and counter espionage and all that, like, and who's
Right, of
actually like
course,
what the
of
actual
course.
name is. Because like when the moment finally happens, they're like genuinely like concerned, like who is it of the three?
Yeah. So they play the safety without power on Colin.
Everyone is shocked, and I'm like, oh no, I have to, I definitely have to play this now.
Yeah.
You're in your mind, you're especially because I guess Jerry won immunity. So you're
Yeah,
like,
Jerry
you
was safe,
know the votes are coming on you now.
and now it's 3-2. So I'm like, oh, I'm dead. But
But
the
what?
funny thing is, I had told no one I had found the item. No one, not even my closest allies. I don't know if I would have told PokePad if I found it.
Oh
Yeah.
wow! So so Jerry's must be thinking like, oh, George is fucked.
Same with Colin.
Yeah, Colin Lee.
Colin, like,
Oh my God, Colin Lee is like, oh no, George. And then George, you come back, and he must have been like, what the fuck?
yeah, and like, I think I even tried to like convince him like we got someone to flip, and then Jerry eventually told him I played an idol because I was trying to keep it a little secret, I guess. But
Why? What was the
because
point of doing?
I'm trying to like not be readable to him because like
But everyone saw you do it. Someone's gonna tell Colin.
yeah, but I'm also thinking like Colin's like the one that everyone's like, yeah, we're just bringing you along now because like you flip too much. Like I saw him as everyone's goat.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I have a very different view of Colin. I
No,
think Colin
after I was
plays-
eliminated, I was like, wait a minute, Colin's been playing such a genius game. I'm gonna vote for him to win.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at Colin like, holy shit, Colin's gonna win this whole thing.
So I think this is my favorite moment of the season, and if there's ever a highlight reel for Oxy, I hope this gets in. So everyone's like so confident after like the phrases, if anyone has a hidden immune idol, now's the time to play it. And they're like looks around, and like everyone's just like acting all giddy and happy that they pulled off this master plan. Hades is like over the moon, and then George Bomb. I love Ben, the Survivor player, and I was like, okay, that's gonna be my tribute to him. I walk up, I play the idol, and I get Smooth out the comp beast. Yeah, maybe I should have gone for Hades, but we were so focused on comp challenges, and Hades had not won anything yet. And in my mind, I was thinking Jerry is gonna comp out a few more times, and we'll take Hades out and Spooks out, and then they'll be smooth sailing. So in that moment, I was the king and the one in charge of the game now.
No, that was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I think you made an amazing.
Oxy has said in his seasons, out of all of them, that was like his third favorite idol play out of like all of them that he's had. So like that
That's
felt really
pretty
honored.
good.
Yeah, there's a
not
lot of
bad.
seasons. I mean, shoot, top 3 is not a bad shout.
Oh, I'm very happy with that. That's like the only cool idol play I've ever had. probably will never have another cool one again because I'm horrible at finding those things.
Yeah.
Genuinely, Pokey saved my butt from the grave.
Yeah, well, Smooth gets sent out. I mean, what a shocker too. For like it must have been for them because
Mhm.
like you said, you didn't tell anybody. Everybody thinks you're gone, and all of a sudden, Smooth probably goes from being on top of the world to just sitting on the jury bench.
Oh
Ah.
yeah, and like I can like you can hear in Hade's voice like how distraught he was. Like I had this epic move planned, and I got outshined by George, who
Yeah.
I shouldn't have let him stick around so long. He is.
Mhm.
I pull the wool over everyone's eyes, and that was like my game to lose at that point.
Well,
Little, little
amazing
did I know.
move. And the good news is that you, Jerry, and Colin make it to final three, and it's happy ever after, right?
Yeah.
Don't patronize me.
uh, all right, we get to final five.
Finale.
First off, I want to say that Final Five edit peak. Hearing
Oh yeah.
I was pitching so long for a Fallout Boy song to be that. It wasn't the song I initially said, but he ended up choosing Centuries instead, which is a good pick. I originally
Yeah.
wanted Last of the Real Ones because like I felt like that one was like more like dinosaurs versus young people like colliding like in a way. Like it felt more that song felt more like a battle of generations, but Centuries fits so good. And I'm glad he chose it over my song.
Very epic.
And
Yeah.
it was so cool. I was like, gee. That was my goal to get there. Like winning was like obviously number one, but I guess that was my secondary goal. First goal was getting that cool edit because like the only time he does the cool edit is the final 5 or 6. So I was like, yes, I made it.
Yeah. Very
Everything
very
else is
cool
now
opening.
cherry on the cake.
Yeah. So
Um,
I had written in my notes, I said, oh, it's going to be George, Jerry, Colin versus Spooks and Hades. And, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Hades wins the immunity. But surely that's what happened, though. It's you three versus those two, right?
That was the plan. I was pitching for that, and then part of me was thinking, like, you know what? I'm willing to go home next after this because then I got at least 2 of my guys further along. Because like I'm really feeling it now, the health thing.
Yeah.
Like I had a bit of
jeez.
energy after the idol, and then it was completely gone. Like full drain, full head hurting, nausea. I was like, you know what? I'm willing to die on the sword next. Let's just get Spooks out, and then final 3. It's Hades, Jerry, Colin. I'll vote for Jerry to win, and then I'll be so happy. And then Colin has 2 little people talking in his ear. Hey, Jerry and George are way too close. They're not going to take you to the end if like it's a final 2 or if one of us wins immunity. You need to take out Jerry, and then it'll be 2v2, and then you can get further in the game. And Colin, being the flip meister himself, not only burns one storyteller, he burns another.
Oof.
Oh.
And Colin weaves his own narrative in his head that he's going to win the entire thing by flipping. And funnily enough, I think him doing that and getting Jerry out is what cost him his game. Funnily enough, it cost me my game.
Well, it definitely cost you and Jerry. There's no doubt there.
But
I think it's an interesting question of what happens if you, Jerry, Colin. What was
Thing
the
is-
final 3 immunity?
final 3 was well, the final 5 I don't even remember what that one was, but final 3 was like this parkour potion thing where you like had to use potions to get further up in this tower.
Because, like, the thing is that I have to imagine that if you or Jerry win, you're taking each other, and Colin is getting cut.
I don't know for sure because I probably at that point, if I was the winner, I would be very hard debating between the two because Colin was my first ally. Same with Pokey. Jerry, though, has been my best ally. Like he was there for me for no matter what. So like if I had won, it would have been super hard for me. If Jerry had won, I think he would have taken me. I think we would have had the story of like we stuck to each other thick and thin. Colin, I don't know who he would have picked because like however Colin thinks, he just does it. And like he's a
Yeah,
great player. Colin's great, but like he definitely his downfall was flipping too much.
yeah. It's a fine line to ride.
And then there's not really too much I remember from that episode other than being so disappointed in Colin after the Jerry went home and like being like, crap, maybe I should have gave Jerry my idol and then he could have had a deeper run. Because I knew I was useless at that point, like in terms of like challenges, because like I was out of it and in a lot of
Yeah.
pain.
See, I was gonna ask, skip ahead a little bit. So Jerry, or not Jerry, Colin, like mentions like, oh, should I give George fire or whatever? Like, was that just for show? Was that a real thing he was
Um,
thinking of? And also, like, do you think in your state you would have even been able to like have
can
a chance in fire?
are you guys recording in game or are you just recording the audio?
We're recording in game.
Okay, so at the Final Four challenge, I was literally blacking out, moving forward like this. So like I was like literally moving, like I passed out several times.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, guys, if I don't win this challenge, vote me out. They edited that out and made a whole scene
Yeah.
because like that's more compelling. I didn't
Yeah.
necessarily quit, but I was like, I'm not going to be able to win any challenges. I'm just going to be not necessarily a goat, but like there's not going to be any competition. Vote me out if I can't get through.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I was okay with it. And that's why in the original vote, I vote for Colin because I was like, I'm going to vote for who I think is getting voted out next. And it was Colin. And I was
Yeah.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I could have held on. If I had a regular sleep schedule, I could have maybe made it past. I could have made it to final 3. I know with the potion challenge I would have lost because I do not know Minecraft potions at all. I don't know the formulas for it. I'd have to Google it and I would be behind everyone. So no way I make it past final 3. Regardless of what state I was in. If I had fought and like convinced Colin to do fire, because I think he would have if I hadn't made that statement. But I was just so out of it, like the amount of pain I was in was like, okay, this is it. It's time for me to go.
In that scenario, I guess, if like you convince Colin to let you go to fire, then do you and who do you and Colin vote for? Do you vote for
Spooks? Because like Hades was immune.
Oh, true.
And I would have beat Spooks easy. Spooks is horrible at challenges. we saw it earlier. He's been dead last in almost every challenge. And that's no offense to the guy.
So that's interesting, because in that scenario, it would be you, Colin, Hades final.
Hades would have won the challenge again because Colin didn't beat him. I wouldn't.
And then Hades
would have taken Colin.
Hades would take Colin. You think?
Yeah, because like Hades said, and I quote, "You would have beaten me."
Yeah.
Because like everything I did countered him. The idol play, me undermining him from the beginning,
no, that makes sense.
setting opponents against him. I didn't see him as a threat because he was the first vote, and he was my first vote.
I will say, I think a final 2 of Hades versus Colin is a lot closer vote.
Oh, definitely than what we got. Like, but I don't see in a world where Colin gets to final 2 without a challenge win. He needed a final 3. And that ended up costing him all this flipping because he never had a true number 1 ally. Like, I was the closest thing. And he burned that when he took out Jerry.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have another question. So I know different shows do it different. Was FTC the same night as everything else, or was it a different day? It was the same night?
Same night. He asked me what my question would be.
Yeah.
And then he recorded it. Okay. And then I got to watch it. And then when they revealed the winner was when we did the live reunion. Oh. We did a live reunion and watched the episode together, the final 5, plus a few guests we were allowed to bring. My friend is a Twitch streamer who made my chibi character for my Twitch stream. So not everyone brought a guest. There was only 3 people who showed up.
Oh yeah, I remember them showing the audience.
Yeah, and I was so honored that my friend showed up because like they're not into this stuff. They're not into
Yeah.
the Minecraft Survivor or Survivor in general, but they care about what I like. So they said they would watch Real Survivor if I was ever on it. Otherwise, they would not watch it.
Fair enough. I'm curious then. So, first of all, I guess before I get into my question, we've been kind of bouncing around this finale. Is there anything else about basically the rest of your time in the game that you want to talk about?
I remember being over the moon with the idol play, people congratulating me. I remember being heartbroken with Jerry and being like, I wish it was me rather than him, because I feel like he could have won the game if he would have been a threat for the challenges. As soon as he was gone, I knew it was pretty much toast for me and Colin.
Right.
Like, maybe if Colin could have won that final 4, it could have been different. Maybe I would have tried to fight on, but I was like, and my heart of hearts, I knew I could not go further than 3 at best, and I didn't feel like that was fair to Colin if they let me go through because I was tired and sick feeling.
Okay.
So in that moment, I was like, I'm willing to go on the sword for this. I didn't want to quit. I wanted an actual vote out because I was not going to quit on Oxy. He is, when I say like he gave me the chance and got me back into the community, because like you do not know how many times I tried to audition for stuff and people were not casting me and not giving me reasons why. I have a theory that someone was probably gatekeeping me. That was a former friend. That's a whole side conspiracy that I do not want to get into nor flame anyone.
I think if I remember, me and you talked about it before.
But I felt so honored, and then it opened the door for me to be in Cavs and Jokers and other shows that sadly have been canceled. There was one season that only 1 episode aired, and then after that it didn't air at all. I got to compete in 2 more mole seasons by different creators, and both of them oddly enough had $1,000 prize pool, weirdly enough.
Oh wow.
And they didn't end up airing, but the money was paid.
Okay. Still, that's a lot. God damn.
I got to be in Derek 5 Numbers Vision Control, which is like a PvP version of Survivor, which was so fun. Funnily enough, me and Lewis were in that show. And then, shocking alert now, because I can talk about it now that the intro dropped. Me and Lewis are in Big Homie 5. So it was kind of cool to see that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so that was our second time playing a show together. There's some other Survivor stuff that hasn't dropped yet. One of them is how me and Rob first met, and I can't wait for that show to air.
I've said this to people before, and I stand by it. Even if that doesn't get a proper release, I have all of my raw footage. It doesn't tell a full story, but it tells something.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there were other players who recorded, so maybe
I've had people promise me spots on shows, like, you're gonna have a guaranteed spot, George, in our next season. A lot of time they just say that because they want numbers and actually don't want you, but it was like cool to have people, like, some of them being the big names, like saying, we want you. So I owe so much to Oxy, and I love this season because, like, I finally got to show what I can do. I owe that man so much, and I hope that he continues to do this stuff because editing wise he's really good, but I think he's more better at like picking contestants, giving people chances, and creating interesting narratives with those contestants rather than relying on hyper fancy editing or weird bizarre twists. And that's no shade on anyone who relies on those things, because those things are awesome. Those things are great, but Oxy is really good at picking players. I hope he continues.
No, I mean, this was the first, like, I've told Rob, like, when we were, like, starting to do this whole, like, interviewing people, watching, like, Survivor seasons, like, I haven't seen, like, a crazy amount of Minecraft Survivor seasons. So, like, this was the first Oxy season I watched. And after the show, I was going to ask you to give me some recommendations of other ones I should watch, because I really enjoyed this season. It was so
actually,
good.
Really quickly, before we get into that, I just have one last question about this season, because I feel us getting away from it.
Yeah.
We should probably talk about the winner, too.
And then, well, that's actually partially what my question's on. So we get Spooks and Hades as a final 2. And then Hades ends up winning, getting 5 jury votes, notably not yours.
Ooh, yes.
So, if you watch back, my question was kind of inspired by Keith Nail, the late great. In his second chance season, his question was, if you want my vote, give the winning pitch for the other person. Because at that point, I didn't really care of who the two won at that time. I was a little bit like miffed because I really wanted either me, Colin, or Jerry, but I didn't want to be like a bitter juror. So I was like, I'm going to throw out the game, throw out my opinion. Whoever gives the better speech of why the other person should win and prove that they can humble themselves can get my vote. And looking back, I do regret voting Spooks, not because he didn't deserve it, but because Hades is so much of a better winner. But when I threw out everything except those speeches, and Spooks was able to convince me just enough. Because like the verbiage when Hades was giving his flowers to Spooks, he was saying, part of me wants to give, part of me. Like there was still a little bit of that pride that he was holding to. That little bit of like, I don't want to fully undermine myself. And I wasn't trying to ask you to undermine. I just wanted you to give a winning pitch for them and vice versa. And Spooks was able to do the same thing, but just more. Do you see that? We have pillagers outside us right now.
We
trying to get in.
always have.
Yeah, we always have visitors coming by, wandering.
It's the
traders,
fans.
pillagers.
It's the fans. You know, they're always trying to. That's why we had to add this wall. Actually, we had a break in once.
We did have some people wander on set. Yeah.
So we are very safe here now, though. Don't
fair. But yeah, I do think that Hades is the rightful winner. He had such a great narrative. Part of me wishes I'd done the idle play to vote him out, but at the time I was so concerned about Smooth comping out because he's won at that point. If you count the dodgeball one, 3 challenges, so it's like, okay, this is the dude that might give Jerry some trouble. I need to get rid of him. Actually, no, 2 challenges. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a tricky call to make. So.
Yeah, Hades just locked in and won 3 comps in a row. Like he was like, he knew when to lock in, and he played a beautiful game. And I hope that if someone were to reach out to him, that he would come back. Because I think he left behind a huge like hole that needs to be filled. Because like I think he's like the best narrative winner I've seen out of any of these.
I mean, yeah, to go from 10 minutes into the game, everyone decided they wanted you out, to becoming the winner is quite the narrative win. My God. And not to mention
voting every single person that voted him out.
Yep.
And
we mentioned the edit. Oh my God, so
and
good.
On top of that, correct me if I'm wrong, but after that first vote, I don't think he gets a single other vote the whole season.
I think that's true. I remember him saying something about that during
I don't see it. No,
I think
he
said that
literally
in
doesn't
FTC.
get a single other vote the whole season.
Crazy.
Which, for what it's worth, does... I don't know, Spooks does get votes, right? Because you 2 voted for Spooks at Final 5. But yeah, so that's incredible to go have that much of a turnaround on your game.
Yeah, because like he was my next target along with Spooks. So if he hadn't won those challenges, he would have he locked in at the right moment.
Yeah, it sounds so. All right. Well, as you were saying a lot about Oxy's stuff. I also, similar to Brett, the only Oxy season I've actually seen is Madagascar. I haven't seen it. So
there's so many good seasons. So he's done, I would say probably his season 8 is really good.
Okay.
Season 7 too. 9 is sadly underwhelming. It has a great winner, but throughout most of the game, it's kind of a little underrated. I would highly recommend 11, even though it's not finished yet, but you're going to see players that have played before. So if you want to watch the others first to get the narrative, I kind of want to say 4 is good too, from my memory. But he didn't start doing those fancy like final 5 edits till season 6, if I remember. So it's kind of like once you started with this, you're like expecting it to pop up and then it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Well, that's understandable.
Just
Yeah.
I don't know. I was very happy with like the product, I guess. Like it was just a very nice like you said before, like he doesn't go like crazy. It's not like crazy over the top like I'm not trying to say
mhm.
this in like a mean way. Like it's not like crazy good editing. Like not I'm trying to say I'm like it's not like fancy.
He has good editing, but he doesn't go over the top.
Yes, that
It's
is what
not
I'm trying to say. Yeah.
It's not the spectacle of like the edit. It's about he focuses on the players, and he's one
Yeah.
of the best at doing that.
And
Like
it's so simple, but it's so good. Like it's so like like some of the songs that he would use a lot, like at the start of the episode would come back. I'm like, oh, I love this this little song that he uses, and just a lot of the little stuff, the challenges too. Like very great product, and I'm very glad that we watched the season and you got us to watch this. I guess it was very good.
I highly recommend Oxy if you love gameplay. Gameplay is like the best for Oxy. Everyone else has got their own thing and they're really good at it. Some of them have the gameplay, some of them have got the twist, some of that. But like Oxy is just really good at crafting the narrative around the gameplay and like honing in on the people.
Yeah.
And the nice thing I like is that, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, because you clearly know a lot more about what's going on in the Oxy circle than I do. But like from what I gathered, he had recorded like 3 separate seasons, 11 through 13. But like took a big step away and people weren't sure what was going on about 11. But I know recently he came back and started editing again. So I'm very hopeful that 11 through 13 get out, because that just adds to it, you know?
Yeah, and isn't
And
there? Yeah,
yeah.
he's got a little another something coming out after that I saw in one of his videos. If you want to mention something about that, George, a little All Stars
All
potentially.
Stars.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, I'll talk about 11 through 13. 11, I was sadly not part of production, but we had made it look like that when people were starting to audition, it was 11, and then we reveal the twist. Oh, it's actually they recorded a secret season immediately after 10 that I wasn't aware about until after the live reunion, because we had made he needed help making the teaser trailer, like when when the Oxy falls through the sky and it reveals players one by one blacked out. So I helped build that part. So technically, that's the only contributing part I had for 11. But I helped out a lot with 12 and 13. Oh my goodness, season 12 is going to blow your socks off. The twists, the theme, the players. There are some people that are like one-off players from another community, and then they came over and just blew our minds for this season. There were some returning old names, especially in season 13. There's this one old head that has been gone for so long and came back, and it was so cool to see him play. And as for All Stars, I can comment and say, even though I'm retired, if he were to message me and say, hey, I want you back, George, I would it if I were on a flight ready to go to Real Survivor, I would probably cancel it and go do Oxys.
Wow.
Hey.
So because like I said earlier, I owe that man so much. Even though I am retired right now from like doing long form shows, he's one of the few people that if he were to invite me, I would be a definite yes, not a, you know what, I'll think about it. I might do it because you have an interesting concept. It would be a yes. So, and who knows, maybe I'll come out of retirement fully someday, or maybe it's just a one and done thing now and then. But for Oxy, if he invites me and he thinks I'm good enough, because he has such a great members of cast, like he's had so many legendary names. If I'm worthy enough for that, I would do it. So I'm not pitching. I'm not saying that I am in it or not. But if you were to ask me, I would be 100% yes.
I mean, just throw my own 2 cents in. I feel like if anyone from season 10 were to be on an All Stars, I feel like you would be one of, if not the top pick. So
I appreciate that.
like,
thank you.
I feel like so much of this season is, especially, you know, the first half of the season is about you kind of having control, you dictating who's going, and then the merge hits. It's you taking a massive hit. No, you're not voted out, but your closest ally is. But then you start rebuilding. And it's looking like it's going to happen. But you get tired. And unfortunately, Colin flips one too many times for you.
And then
So, like,
Hades
yeah.
just and by the way, Hades just builds this empire from like the ground up. Like I'm not
Yeah.
me being tired does not take away from his win. I think he probably still could have done it even if I was at 100%. I don't want to take that away from him because like he is, as much as I would rather have won, he rocked that season.
Well,
But-
I do agree with you, but I also, part of me does think that if you are more awake, then you're more likely at Final Four to go to Colin and make a pitch for you going to fire against Peace. And it sounds to me like if you're more awake, you have a genuine shot at beating Peace.
I
And
agree.
then-
I have a better shot. I don't know if I have a guarantee because I don't want to.
No, but I'm just
I
saying,
do not want to take because like I appreciate what you're saying and I agree, but I also don't want to take away from what he did because
Yeah.
like I don't want people to be like, oh well, he's blaming his tiredness, so that's why he. I do not want to take away from Hades.
Believe me, in no way am I simply trying to make it say, like, oh, you're less tired, you win the game. Believe me, I'm not trying to make a claim like that at all. What I'm saying is I think if you're less tired, then there's a chance.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely a chance.
Maybe it's a small chance. Maybe it's only like a 5% chance, but I think it's a higher chance than you being tired. That's all I'm trying.
And now because of all this hyping, and if I get on, I'll be the first boot, and then I'll be like, shoot, I shouldn't have came on this podcast.
Nah. You just gotta be like, guys, I'm an old man. I'm probably gonna be exhausted in 10 hours, like you saw.
Honestly, that's genuinely true, because like the last one I did, I was like, oh crap, I'm doing this again.
Look, I don't want to. Part of me is afraid to say this because, like you said, if people somehow targeted you because of this, I would feel horrible. But if I ever saw, if you, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. If you are dropped in any season of any game, and I have to pick someone to make a deep run, I'm picking you 9 out of 10 times. Like,
Well, so my whole strategy 9 times out of 10 is build an alliance that one of us is going to win the season, or at least all of us are going to get far. Because like if I ally with you, it's because I want you to win. If I don't, the only time I didn't really do that, and you kind of seen it most of the way through, is in Cavs, because like I said, I wanted to try playing a villain for the first time. I did not enjoy playing that way, so I'm probably never going to play like that again. So my whole strategy is build a huge bond with people, connect with people that I want to be friends with after the game. And usually everyone after I play with, if you're not in my alliance, I still want to be your friend. Some people don't feel that way. Some people just want to be game and that's it. And then afterwards never talk to you again until the next game you play. But for me, it's all these game shows are a social experiment. So I want to be social because that's the whole point.
all right. Any last thoughts you want to say before we wrap things up?
I was very proud of my final words in the season, where not counting my jury speech, where I said that Jesus is Lord and that I hope all can find peace and stuff like that. And then I was very honored to have played, and I wish that more people get the chance to play in these shows. If you've not been in one yet, keep trying. I hope Oxy continues. That way you guys can have a chance to play in his. I hope, Rob, you keep doing these so more new people can have a chance to play. And then Brett, I hope you choose to continue to do Big Homies, or maybe even go back to your Total Drama series, so
God,
more players can have a chance. Because I
I
think
don't know
you
anybody
guys,
knew about that.
I think you guys have, both of you in particular, have really good minds of the game. I've gotten to watch at least Brett's show. It's really good. I think, Rob, you're going to have a great show because I think you're surrounding yourself with talented people, and hopefully in the future I can be one of your production members down the line. But it's been a huge honor to be part of this community. Even though I'm pretty much done for now, I don't know if I will come back. I don't want to say I will and won't. It has been a huge honor to be the grandpa, some people jokingly call me, of the community, and see so many amazing players come and go. And I hope that I was an inspiration enough to not only touch people's souls and change them, but also be confident to try these games. And if you had left this community to come back and prove that you can still hang with the new people.
Well, thank you so much for everything, George. It was truly a blast and honestly an honor to be able to talk with you. I love every time I get to talk with you, whether it's we're in a game together or we're just kind of shooting this shit on a random day. I'll say, like, obviously I won't go into the game that we played together in. But, like, what I will say is after that, you were one of the only people who, like, actually kept in touch with me, which I really appreciated. You really pushed me to continue to apply to things, and so it's really awesome that you were one of the first people to see this and be like, you know what, I do want to talk to Rob about Survivor.
Anytime, man.
Alrighty then. Well, that about does it for us. Thank you all for listening to this very long talk about, again, truly an epic season of Minecraft Survivor. I forgot how much I actually enjoyed watching Madagascar, and knowing that there's at least 9.5 other seasons of Oxy's content to check out. Honestly, I see me probably watching one in the next week, so we'll see how that goes.
Heck yeah.
But until next time, everyone, have a good day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Peace. God bless.